Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freakazoids? Alright. What the hell? After I made my video today, all these other videos came out. So it was like right during me making it. And then I'm about 10 minutes after I uploaded it, all of a sudden, well, I don't know what the timing was, but that's when I noticed. I saw it on the news that there was other videos out. So it's going to be, I mean, the press conference today was really interesting, I think. I missed a lot of it because I had to, but it looked like they were answering a lot of questions and different things, and but they also released different video, and I think I have put a lot of it together, so we'll see how that goes. But Candace Owens today, if you've been following the Charlie Kirk case, I mean, she's been an absolute embarrassment, lunatic, just creating so many different conspiracy theories, and like today she said, well, I have the right to believe it. Well, you do, but we have the right to call you a lunatic for believing it. Just like on my show, when somebody comes in with a crazy conspiracy theory, I usually say something, but what's amazing is her audience has completely abandoned her. I mean, like in the comments, I couldn't find one that was positive because she didn't keep pushing. They're angry that she actually met and doesn't have the same, after the meeting, she's not quite as, accusatory. It's incredible. You know what I mean? I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. I don't know what she's going to do at this point, but I see a lot of lawsuits in the future from various people. I mean, I guess what she's really doing right now is trying to keep that from happening, because she would lose in 2 seconds against Turning Point USA. There's absolutely no justification for anything that she's been doing or saying. And when you read the comments, hell, let's go over and let's look at them. Hold on a second. It's pretty crazy. Hold on. I watched the whole thing just before this show. Okay, there you go.
Okay, everybody.
And then she starts off. Look how listen to her.
Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah to our...
She's saying it sarcastically. If you saw her face, I'm not going to show her face. Like the first comment says, we learned nothing, absolutely nothing. This episode truly felt fake, and how ironic. Transparency is never found in private meetings. Sounds like damage control. 4.5 hours of conversation, and yet we, the people, are still confused. I think I just realized we, the people, will never be allowed to know. No. Well, you do know now. That's the thing, is you do know. Candace Owens just sold you a bill of goods for months now, just for her for likes, views, and revenue. Crawling back into my cave, thought we almost had a real one. Candace and Erica think we're dumb. See, now they're, oh man, that's crazy. Both sides of this are now fake. Who else was confused during this whole video? So these are all in order. I can't find one. If you could scroll through, I mean, you can't find one. But hey, guys, let's if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel, maybe we can get started instead of being at 00000 all the way across the board for hours. Okay, so the quote was right for the right price. Everyone is for sale. So Candace is for sale now. No one can be trusted. Literally no one. Meeting privately was a serious mistake in judgment. Right, because that didn't allow her to continue her grift, her fake stories to sell, to get, I don't know what you call it, but her ad revenue, all the different people, millions of views. My advice is to put the phone down and go outside. These people can't be trusted. Hey, thank you, Cinnamon Sin Freak. And by the way, here's the comments right here. If you haven't been gaslit before, this is what it feels like. Confusing, draining, and nauseating. Turning Point is probably thrilled because now your audience doesn't trust you. It's a big club and we aren't in it. Why wasn't any of this recorded? I can't get past... And Megan Kelly was the sort of moderator. The market makers have spoken. Well done, every single person calling out this circus. Yeah, well, I'll take credit for that. I have been telling every one of these people lost hundreds and hundreds of subs because I've told the truth that Candace Owens is full of crap. Tyler Robinson is the killer. Whether or not he had help by other furry folk on his Discord is really the question that everybody wants answered. Was there some knowledge, help, etc.? That's it. Okay, but Candace Owens is just an absolute embarrassment of a human being. She's created on her own tremendous amount of anti-Semitic belief system and thoughts by people out there for no reason at all. I bet you 99% of you in here has never had an argument with nor has ever been affected by a Jewish person at all. And for anybody out there that's you're anti-Semitic because of Candace Owens or just something somebody told you, you're an idiot. Okay? That means your brain doesn't work correctly. And even if a Jewish person did treat you poorly, it doesn't have to do with them being Jewish. It's because that person might not be a nice person, just like any other person. It's ridiculous, you guys. Hey, thank you, Cheryl Bullock and Regina, or Ragin' Cajun, not Regina, sorry. Ragin' Cajun. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of nice to see, like, everyone. I mean, let's just scroll way down and see if there's anything. Erica and Candace sat down. Here's what happened, allegedly. Now they is the left. Common Candace. I can't put a finger on it, but my gut feeling about this video is hitting different. I mean, I can't find one, man. I can't find one comment in there. How is she going? I bet, you know what? She'll still get the same number of views. Because people want to see, okay, well, will she, what's next? How is she going to try to recover from this? All right, anyways, that's my, I don't know. I was going to read, there was a really interesting, if you guys are interested, this article, Inside Candace Owens' Sadistic and Dangerous World Monetizing Baseless Conspiracies. Do you want me to read this one really quick? It's not too long. It's just... This one was by New York Post. And then we have a ton of stuff to go through. A press conference that's like 50 minutes long. And then all of the different surveillance. But let me know. Do you guys want me to go over this one? Let me just put a... And if you don't, I won't do it. Doesn't affect me. If I set up a poll, if you don't want me to go over this, it might be interesting though. It's only take about 5 or 10 minutes, I would think. Okay, now it's no. Everybody vote. Everybody vote. Everybody vote. Everybody vote. All right, how many do we have voting so far? Most people say yes. All right, but don't worry. We'll get to the surveillance. I'll probably put out another video tomorrow with it all of it together. It's crazy. I think there's something in the area that this guy was monitoring. But anyways, let's go. Let's take a look at this. All right. So there it is. It looks like 66% or 67. All right. The independent broadcaster 36, described as sadistic and dangerous by insiders, didn't hold back from spreading baseless conspiracy theories about the grieving widow and her husband, activist Charlie Kirk, after he was assassinated on September 10th. This is the New York Post. For those who have crossed her path, Owen's disregard for the truth, pursuit of attention, and reckless behavior are all calculated. This is exactly what we've been saying. Those who spoke to the Post claim Owens was loathed by staff when she worked for the Daily Wire. Guests on her podcast doubt she believes her own lies, and her pattern of inflammatory behavior can be traced all the way back to high school. Everything she is doing right now is because she wants to destroy Charlie's legacy and the organization he built because he threw her out of Turning Point USA, alleged one insider. Owens worked for TP USA as a communications director between 2017 and 2019. Charlie pushed her out because she was going a little bit nuts, a source close to Turning Point USA, Brass, claimed to the Post, but noted he would still text her to keep the friendship going, or maybe to keep her, a friend, an enemy closer kind of thing. All right, and here we go. Down here, after Charlie started dating Erica in 2018, so remember up here, Candace worked there from, 2017 to 2019. So in the middle of that time, after Charlie started dating Erica in 2018, the source added, Owens was feeling usurped. Who is this interloper who knew nothing taking over, the source claimed. She wasn't invited. I mean, this is really telling, right? Candace wasn't invited to Charlie's 2021 wedding. That was really telling. Owens and Erica agreed on a truce over the weekend and set to meet Monday. So this is before today. Monday to hash out their differences. Conspiracies that Owens has spread about Charlie's murder include the involvement of Israeli Mossad agents, the U.S. military, Egyptian planes. I mean, we say all these things every single time. It's just the most ludicrous crap you've ever seen. And then despite it having occurred in public and been captured on video, the alleged assassin is in custody awaiting trial. So she says all these things, even with all that known. And then comedian and commentator Ami Kozak, who appeared twice on Owen's podcast last year discussing the Israel-Hamas war, said he believes her conduct follows a familiar pattern. She goes against the grain for going against the grain's sake. He told the Post, it's sensationalism in pursuit of audience and self-aggrandizement, not a pursuit of truth. And isn't that weird? Because this is exactly what I hate about YouTube and how the algorithm actually promotes those people. The ones that do this absolute bullshit, like that dumbass Tweety Bird YouTuber that's doing the Idaho 4 case, inventing stuff on every single show that's not real. It's fake. It's false. Completely false information. And then there's people like me who just go, we have to do the probable cause documents, go through the factual elements, and people are like, okay, well, where's the pizzazz? Sometimes there isn't pizzazz, If you really want to know the case, sometimes there isn't really, but a lot of times there are really interesting cases out there. It's just not what you might have thought was interesting. I don't really know what to say. But if you guys could please help support my channel, one of the few out there that literally does the factual information in cases and puts the cases together. She goes against the grain for going against the grain's sake. So then it said up here, Stop Anti-Semitism named Owens Anti-Semitic of the Year in 2024, citing her statement that Judaism is a pedophile-centric religion that believes in demons, child sacrifice, and spreading untrue conspiracies such as Israel was involved in 9/11 and a secret group of Jews in Hollywood was involved in the death of Michael Jackson. I mean, what a joke. Owens has also promoted the blood libel conspiracy that Jewish people murder Christians to use their blood in ceremonies. Does anybody believe that in here? Kozak pointed out that many of Owens' claims collapse under even basic scrutiny. What drives her is power and influence in the culture, but the house of cards is crumbling as more of her claims are unsubstantiated. A spokesperson for Owens responded to the Post's request for comment, saying the allegations against her are baseless but very funny. So that's one of Owens' representatives. Owens is also facing a huge reckoning in court when Bridget Macron's defamation lawsuit against her comes to trial, expected next year. Macron filed a 220-page lawsuit in July of 2025, alleging 22 counts of defamation and a campaign of global humiliation for financial gain against her. And that's exactly the truth. The lawsuit claims Owens continued to repeat false allegations that the French First Lady was born a man even after her attorneys were provided with extensive documentation, including birth records, childhood photos, and pregnancy records from her 3 children, all demonstrating Macron was born female. And then down here it says, according to the complaint, Owens ignored multiple retraction requests. That's all she had to do. And continued her relentless bullying with their 8-part podcast, Becoming Brigitte, or whatever she called her, and related merchandise sales. The Macrons can argue Owens was in possession of the facts but chose to ignore them to prove their case, legal sources told the Post. She is about to be in serious financial difficulty. Yeah, she's going to lose because the Macrons sent her the truth and allowed her to retract what she said. And instead of her doing that, she doubled down. And that means in the face of having the truth, she decided to continue the campaign of bullying. She's about to be in serious financial difficulty. She really is on the line for a huge sum of money. I think she's probably realizes that now. Maybe that's why she's doing what she's doing, building up a... Sources also allege Owens' anti-Semitic behavior has strained ties with her own extended family. Listen to this. I mean, who knew this? Her British father-in-law, Lord Michael Farmer, issued a statement after Owens repeated various comments about Jewish people. That means her husband's dad. And in view of public comments from a high-profile member of my family, I want to put my own views on anti-Semitism on public record, he wrote, explaining how he had known many Jewish people in his private and professional life and serves as a Christian deputy chair on the Council of Christians and Jews, a group founded as bulwark against anti-Semitism. Sources said if Lord Farmer cuts off his son, so Candace's husband, George Farmer, and Owens, they would face further financial complications. A source who knows the family said George has never had a real job and is mostly known for his lackluster attempt to launch a right-wing Twitter alternative called Parler, which is still active but has a dwindling number of users. Owens and her husband now live in Nashville, Tennessee, where she broadcasts her show, which is very lucrative, according to Fortune magazine, which estimated this month her company generated up to $10 million. I mean, not this month. It said it estimated this month that it made $10 million a year. So I was telling you guys, that's exactly what I was saying. That's a large turnaround from her more humble beginnings in Connecticut. There in 2017, she owed 6 months in back rent. on her $3,500 a month, 2-bedroom luxury apartment in Stamford. Faced with eviction, she instead filed a lawsuit against her landlord. Wow, sounds like, what's his face? JLR, you know? 3 Harbor Points and same type of personality. Both invent stuff, total sensationalism, garbage, day after day. So she tried to, you know, let's see. So faced with eviction, she instead filed a lawsuit against her landlord, 3 Harbor Point Square, claiming the apartment had mold and seeking $15,000 in damages for systematic yeast infections, impacting, putting earwax in her left ear and emotional distress. She lost the case and instead had to pay the landlord $20,000. I mean, that's hilarious, right? Even further back in 2008, Owens, then a recent high school grad, and her father, Robert, were awarded a $37,500 settlement from the Stamford Board of Education after they sued the school district in federal court for knowingly failing and refusing to protect Owens after she received racially and sexually threatening voicemails from a group of fellow students. After leaving Turning Point USA, Owens moved on to the Daily Wire, and insiders claim she graded with the people who worked there from the start. One source said that in her first week, she threw her car keys at a producer and expected them to park her car. She is also said to have expected others to conduct her research, demanded a huge studio to film in, and attempted to use the company's publicity arm to push herself, questioning why she hadn't been placed on the cover of People magazine. She was one of the worst people I've ever worked with, said one source. Other sources say Daily Wire co-founder Ben Shapiro never wanted her there, but investors insisted she would be a good fit. Her tumultuous tenure at Daily Wire ended last year after Shapiro publicly condemned her disgraceful anti-Semitic rhetoric. Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship, CEO Jeremy Boring said in a statement. Owens confirmed the news in her own post, writing, "The rumors are true. I'm finally free." Without the constraints of corporate framework around her, Owens may be making more money than ever, but whether her arguments that she is just exercising her right to free speech remain to be seen in court. Wow. I mean, that's absolutely nailed it, that article right there. All right, you guys, we're on one of those massive lulls again, right out of the chute. You know, and it's always whenever I'm reading or there's a press conference, so I'm nervous to do a press conference. It's really interesting, though, but if I play it, it'll just be an hour of, I don't know what to call it, a lull. So if you guys are out there, can you please help support the channel? You guys are all I have for the income when I do the live streams. The video I put out today doesn't even have 1,000 views. We've got, there's no ad revenue. It's just people watching. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can. That's it. I don't have any other options. I don't have an ad that I can read right now and say, hey, you guys, buy my new makeup kit. You know, it's just, if you feel like I do a good job, that'd be great. So in her live today, she goes over that same article. Oh, who cares? If she goes over the article, she's an idiot. She'll invent her own theory on it. She'll lie. That's what she does. I mean, here's the thing. If you know Candace Owens is a liar, who cares if she goes over an article that's against her, because she's just going to lie to try to explain it. I mean, don't you get it? I mean, don't you get it? I mean, it's just obvious. Right. All right, so there's this document right here, or video they put out, the FBI put out. People are saying it's not out there anymore. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want a piece of video that was in it, so they'll re-upload it or something. Or maybe they found more information, or there was something in there, maybe the satchel or whatever the hell the person's holding. They didn't want that out there. Man, we started off pretty good. I was thinking, okay, cool, we might have a decent night, and then it just went. Yeah, so let's see. Is that two? Yeah, there we go. Hey, thank you, Linda Cosma. Well, she is. I think it's weird. I mean, I've lost hundreds of subs because of it. Every time I say anything about Candace, because, you know, I'm a Republican, conservative person. I voted for Trump, etc. I didn't like what he said the other day, but I still, you know, what he said about Rob Reiner, but I support him. You know, that's just one of those comments I can't support. I mean, shouldn't everybody be able to find things like that? I mean, a lot of stuff Biden said people should have condemned, but it just, you know, people don't do it. Democrats never do that. They never eat their own. It's always, no matter what somebody says, it's okay. It's pretty wild. Hey, thanks, Richard Watts. And thank you, Stephen Connerly. First membership purchased, gifted today. Let's see if we can get some more of those. Yeah, I don't know. Candace Owens has just been. Could you imagine being Jewish, you know, in an environment with people like Candace Owens? Every day building a larger pillar of hate against your community? It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I just don't get it at all, you know. And here's one thing I really don't get, however, is I don't get why Jewish people are generally Democrats. Like, they vote for Democrats in general, like 90%. You know, it's like, why? That party hates you. Okay? And then the weird part is their one safe haven was the Republican Party, and then Candace Owens is trying to ruin that. So then you think, well, where is there a place for Jewish people to feel safe? You get what I'm saying? And if you don't see what I'm saying, I'm sorry you can't see it. It's just really clear. All right, here we go. So this was this FBI video that was put out. They released these a whole bunch of different clips of enhanced video, you know, enhanced with quotes around it. Hey, thank you, Tammy McDonald. All right, so I don't know what you want to see first. How about we just watch this first? I think I have it in order. All right, this is at 2 o'clock. We'll just watch this. A lot more footage in this stuff. So look, he's way over there in this one. Right? And this is earlier. This one's at 2 o'clock. And so he's walking there, and then he cuts across the street there. That's one we didn't have. But I did tell you guys, I think that some of these cameras picked him up multiple times, and they should show it. And I've noticed that it looks like the FBI is doing, I mean, I always do this kind of stuff, you know, and I put together the little paths and everything, and they can do it better because they have more information. I just think it's interesting. You know, I wonder if some of these people check out my channel from time to time. And then here's a new piece of footage. See that? Right there. Walking that direction. And that one is at 2:04. And then this one's at 2:06, coming back this way. Again. And that's at 2:08. That's new also. I know where all this stuff is. I mean, they have the addresses on the prior to it, and this is like zoomed in. Now the weird part is he has like a bag around his neck, and it was in some of the shots that we were watching yesterday. We just didn't see it or mention it. You know, there was a couple of them that you had to really kind of pause, and then you'd see it. Yeah, look at these way over there. And he runs around a few times. That's really rare, Sandy. You know it is. So you don't need to throw it in there. Let's see. And he's over there, and like I don't know if you can see through there, but I think he starts running in a couple of these. Like right there, he's running. See that? And then this is it right over here. I don't know if he knows where cameras are or not. I think he just dressed in a way where he knew that it would be hard to determine who he was. And there he is walking there. That's 418. And then right after that's this one. See, I put these all together the way they're supposed. They didn't put this out in their new release, this one, but this is exactly where it is. In fact, watch this. They actually overlap each other, I think. So see right there, there's the side curve, and then see how it dips down right there? So in this next shot, that's what this part is right here. See, that's the end of the curb, and then there's sort of like a little driveway thing, and then like that. That's right where that is. See? And then he walks towards the camera. But that's the continuation of that. Unfortunately, that camera wasn't turned to the right slightly, a little bit more. That might have been. Look at that, though. What's he doing? Why is he running around? See, I think that there's literally somebody he's tracking and waiting for, and he doesn't want to miss something. There's no other reason you'd be running unless there was something you were hurrying up to not miss. Right? I mean, what else would he be running for? I think their answer to the question is in that area. I can't think of another reason why somebody would be running in this situation. Makes no sense at all. Man, what does he do? Does he check his watch right there? Now look at right here. See this? Right there, there's a big bag around on him right here. See that? That's what that is. It's not part of his shirt. See that? Look at right there. See, it sticks way out. There's a bag, and it goes around his shoulder. And I think you can even see, like right in there, it kind of goes under his arm. I don't know. We don't know what he has. All we know is the one person mentioned that he had a long gun, but it seems like everybody else talks about pistols, and maybe he had one of the folded versions, and maybe that's in the bag. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we don't know if he had an AR, but the one witness kind of described having a longer weapon. But I think they're way off, that person. Yeah, so you got that one. They were off with a little oval there. They didn't know how to do it correctly. And you got this one. That one, 2:53. So there's like a 33-minute period where there's no anything. Now this was new. Apparently he's right there. And so this is at, let's see. Well, we have the time in here. And I think you can see he was walking across this street. Okay, but this is way before the murders, too. This is like 250 something. And so a police officer picked him up, and then after, he's literally right over there, crossing the street. I don't know if that's him. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, right there. And he's just standing, like, looking around, I guess. And then I think after that, right after that, he does this move. The first video that was out. And then this one, where he's getting the hell out of there. What doesn't make sense? There's not two men involved. Hey, we're not doing the conspiracies over here, okay? There's nothing. It makes complete sense. The guy was walking around. He went in and killed, and then he left. What he did, I don't know what he was waiting for. I don't know what you're saying. That makes no sense. I don't know what you're saying when you say, "Oh, that doesn't make sense." Because it's before the shooting. Why doesn't that make sense to you? Come on. Jesus. He's just a guy walking around. Why would a cop even care? And then here the cops pulled up and they want to go into the building. They don't see some random guy walking over there. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, no, not the police car one. That one is. This one is at 2:53. Right here. That's this one. 2:53. The one here is after. The cop's way over there and the guy's way down there crossing the street. Why would he go, "Ooh, that must be the shooter"? Doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make sense. Hey, thank you, Richard Hinman. Sleuths say, yeah, we've seen that name all over the place. He does kind of seem, looks similar, etc. Yeah, we already know that. We talked about it last night on here. We try not to put those people's names out there, though. Because at the press conference today, they didn't seem to think that person had anything to do with it. But hey, guys, if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel, we gotta make some headway here before we get to the press conference, because that's usually the death knell in the show at that point. We're currently at 1/5 of a nightly goal, so let's see if we can. We're at halfway through the month now. I know Christmas is coming up. If you're out there and you're somebody, a regular freak, not one of the ones that just sort of never shows up, never comments or anything like that. If you don't, if you're struggling, maybe send me an email. See what we can do. All right. Thank you. No, he's not wearing the bag in every clip. I was thinking maybe he had the gun in the bag, and then he hid the bag somewhere, and then just continued to walk around waiting for his time, and then retrieve the bag with the gun in it later, instead of standing around with having a gun with you. All right. Yeah, it's not like you're going to want to stand around waiting. Apparently he was there at 10:30 in the morning, and then he shot at 4:03. That's insane, right? Anyways, let's look at this one here. So this one's at 2 o'clock, and it's at 56 Cook Street, and he's walking east on Manning and turning south on Cook. I thought I don't know. That's just probably purely coincidental. But the woman that was killed, that's her last name right there, Cook. Cooke, even spelled the same. Hey, and I was wondering, actually, and she's the vice president of the Republican. Hey, thanks so much, Christopher Marshburn. He's the one. Christopher's the one that sent me the Candace Owens article. But I was wondering if Ella Cook lived in that little block area, and that's what he was watching. Okay, well, if he says he's been identified, he's not telling you the truth. Okay, he's no, I've watched Officer Tatum recently, and he's no different than any of these other people out there. For a while, I was thinking, oh, wow, but it's just, sensationalism, sensationalism, sensationalism. Every freaking thumbnail is bullshit. It doesn't even, it has nothing to do with anything. I did hear about he was a nuclear scientist, right? I didn't discuss that because that's not what we're talking about tonight. I would like to know if she's walking to class. Yeah, well, that's the thing is I'm kind of wondering, I mean, who is Ella Cook? Does she have family? I mean, is that why the street was named that? I mean, isn't that kind of weird? That one of the main streets that he's walking around has the exact same spelling. And then maybe she gets to live on campus there. I have no clue. I just thought it was pretty strange. I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. But maybe she has an alumni and roots in the area. Yeah. Yeah, so we got that one, 56 Cook Street. And that one is right here. So that was one of the new... actually, that wasn't one of the new ones, but it's the... Let's just play it. This one's at 2 o'clock. That's this one, but it has much more of the footage. So this is the one where you see him walking this way. See? He's coming down the street, and then he comes around this way. And so from above, he comes over here, kind of like this, and around. Actually, it's more. Oops. It's probably like this, and then across, and then down that way, right? Yeah. So that one's different. Goes that way. And then here's number 2 at 253 George. And that's one of the new, that's a new shot as well. That's down here. So right after he turned and went like this. And then later, he's seen walking by over here. Now let me think. Where was that part? Was it at 204? So it's actually, so from over here, he's walking over here. Now, what direction is he headed in that one? Is he going to the right? I would think so. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Okay, so that means the person went down like this. So you can actually just map this out. He went down the street and then turned this way, going like that. And then at 204, he's going that direction. And that's what we see here, walking by. Yeah, we can go down. Notice the pillars there, and then a sloped driveway. Go down. I think that was it. Right, there it is. There's those pillars, the camera's underneath there. There's the slope driveway. And then these set of stairs on the other side. That's actually how I found it. Because a lot of these houses have 3 or 4 cameras on them. And then right there is those steps across the street. So he walks by there. And then this is 253 George. And now he's coming back the other direction at 207 or 207-ish. And this one is 110 Benevolent, and that is the Historical Society building. Hey, thanks, Althea. Appreciate it. And this house has a ton of cameras on it. I mean, it's just crazy. Actually, 253 isn't the historical one. It's this one right here. It's right near it, though. This one does have multiple, like I mean, I'm not certain, but I feel like this and this one are the same property. You know, almost a full guest house or something. I mean, it's crazy. Because they're listed as the same. All right, so 253 and at 204 and 213, it goes by right there. Was that what? Let me go back a little bit here. What was the one before? 253 George. All right, now we're at one. That's right, 110 Benevolent is where we're at. Sorry, not 253. It's right here. So this one has a ton of different camera angles on it. So let's take a look at the next shot. And you see this little brick driveway there. You go to Google Earth, and that brick driveway, you can see it right through the trees. See it right there? Right there. And if you go down to Street View, this one was kind of hard to find because it was in this. I didn't even know there was a street there. It was so thick. But anyways, you go right to here, and there's that little brick driveway, and the camera for that shot is, I think, right there. So it's filming him walking by right here in this area. And he's heading to the right. And this is at 208, so that means from that camera angle, he's heading, this direction. And that sort of makes sense. I mean, he's over, where was he before? Oh, that's my other spot. Hold on. Yeah, 253 George. So he was just right over here. And then, yes, going to the right. So he went like this and then this direction. So that means after, I think on this one he had 2 different directions, and then he went this way and then took a left. And then walk by right there. And then there's another camera right behind this one, not about 50 feet, that filmed the corner over there. Actually, it's the other way around. He went. Let me go back to the one before. It gets kind of complicated. So this one goes that way, and then isn't there 2 of them? This one's a 253, and he's going that direction. 253, and he's walking like that. And then, yeah, it's weird because a minute later, then he's actually walking by like this. So it seems like we would have seen him come back this direction. No. Don't see it. I thought there was 2 of them there, but does he come back really quick? No. Oh, there it is. Okay, so he does. Now it makes sense. So he comes back. That's why he's able to do that. All right, I was wondering. So he went like this, and then back this direction, and now he can be walking by. So let me put that in there. That means he was over here, came around, and then he went around this corner like that. And that's how he ends up walking by the camera going that direction. And there he is. And the next one's the same one that we just saw at Benevolent. 110 Benevolent. Walking to the right. And that's also at 110 Benevolent. Look at that, like a totally different camera, but it's on the same building. And that's the one with the big tree and everything. And this one's at 208. Thank you, KMTX. But hey, guys, let's see if we can get some gifted memberships. We've only got 3 of those, and you know, we're currently at you know, 1/4, even like like 1/4 and a half of you know, just the regular nightly goals. So, what do you mean? What's this about? Are you even a channel member here, or my God, what's this about? Wow. All right, so then he's walking by that camera again. Is this, what time is this one? So that's 2:13. So he goes by there. So he's like, look at. So he goes by this one a lot. So if we go back here, look at that. That's at 2:04, and then 2:07, and then a little bit later, he's walking by right there again. Hold on, right here. See that? He's coming back again. So what was the one right before that? He was right there by that tree. Let's go back up. Man, this really, it's all over the place. It's 110 Benevolent again. So that's the Historical Society. So right there, he's standing here, and then we see him. So he must have actually went like this. I think he went from here around like this. He had to have. It's not on camera, but he had to have done that. Because if you look at the video, he's standing there, and he's kind of looking in that direction even. And then all of a sudden he's walking here again, that direction. So he had to have gone around like this, because I think that's this camera right there. And it's filming him walking over here, right? Isn't that the one with the stairs over? Yeah, right there. So he had to have gone around like that. Just how I said it. But hey, guys, just so I don't have to ask 1,700 times, if you guys could please help support the channel tonight, I'd really appreciate it. You guys are the sole source of the income on the live shows, and that's really all I do. So if you want me to be able to stay in business, we need the support. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. We've got that 213, walks that way. Then a 216, this is that other camera. So the other camera, a minute ago, see there's that bricks driveway? That camera's on the inside of this shed on the other side. Then there's another camera way back further. So if we go over to, yeah, it's right through there. See, there's that little brick driveway, and then there's that little shed. that has a camera on it right there, and then there's another camera obviously like up at the top, up in there. So if I zoomed in like this and kind of somehow, let's see if I can miraculously get down into that position. It's like that. See? I mean, there's that little shed and everything. So it's probably a little bit more over. And I think if I could get right underneath this little corner, that's where I would think. I kind of like that. See? And then that goes out to the street over there. It's not the greatest in the world. But. And so that camera picks him up on the corner over there. And see, he's standing over here. He's just, and look at, he runs. Why? Why do you do that right there? You know? Yeah, something weird about that. Is that him again? I don't remember. I don't know. Let me go back. So he's looking at something. He's like, oh! You know? Maybe, I mean, it's possible there's, like somebody is, I guess, moving around, talking to him and stuff like that. Like, hey, he's over there. Something like that. But, I'm just watching his movements and motions. Man, it seems like you guys don't really hear what I'm trying to tell you guys. We need to get the support up for the show. We're halfway through the month here. 2 days ago, collapsed a day. Yesterday wasn't great, and trying to make it work today. So if you guys have the ability to support the channel, that would be fantastic. I know I'm not a conspiracy channel where you guys would be pumping out money, but I'm just a regular channel trying to make it. Been around for a long time. All right, so somebody's running over there. 36, I think it paused for a second. And then does he keep running over here? Hey, thanks, Kathy Ratcliffe and Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Appreciate it. So, like, he must have hung out there. So, I think that's weird, too? So, he's over here in this corner. And then, look at he. I think that's... actually, we got to go back a little further. Right into here. So, he's, like, looking over there, and he's like, oh! Or, like, he thought of something, or whatever. And then he kind of runs over here, and I don't know what happened with that, but like he stopped over here. And then it stopped at 2:16:36, and then 37, 38. And if you keep looking over here, that was confusing. Let me see that again. Hold on. I don't know what the hell's happening here. So 2:16:42. Oh, there. I guess that's kind of... But then, let me go back. I don't know why it was starting earlier, too. So why is it at 2:16:22 he's standing there? Does he walk back to the right or something? Let me see. Because that doesn't make any sense. Like maybe he stopped, then he kind of just disappeared in there. So something happened with the footage. 2:16:36. Now does he walk back to the right? No, he comes up back over the... What the hell? That doesn't make any sense, man. I don't know. That part doesn't make sense. You guys see what I'm looking at, right? That part doesn't make any sense. So he's standing right there. And then he turns around and he runs. And look at the clock up here. 2:16:25. And then he goes to right there up and he sort of disappeared. And then it stops at 36 for a moment. And then the clock starts up again. He's over there. Let's like a... Is it looping? Let's just see something. Does a car go by the first time too? Let's see. When he starts running, does a car go by? No. Ah, geez, that one's hard to explain there. That's a weird one. You guys aren't really following along, I can tell, because you'd see the same strangeness. So look right down here, through the fence. You see his feet right there? His legs moving? Oh, and all of a sudden they just absolutely disappear. That means that this footage somehow, it stopped recording or something right at that moment. And it's 2:16:36. All right, now we're going to watch it. Just look at the time at this point. It's not moving yet. I'm scrolling forward. I don't know what the deal was here. All right. See, now it's 2:16:37, right? See this? And then now the guy is coming from the right again. How did he get over there? I don't think that's him, actually. This might be another person. I think that's why maybe why they got rid of this video. And that guy starts running too. Nah, that's sort of interesting. Here, let's go like this. See, notice how there's like a whiteness on top of this person's head? This might be why they got rid of this thing. Because I don't think that's the same person. And look at how they start running too. Why? Just after that. So you watch when they get through here. Man, that's some weird stuff. So let's go back to the beginning of it again. Yeah, so maybe there was somebody working with somebody. But look at that. See how his top of his head there, you guys? Watch when he turns around. He goes this way. The top of his head's black. Can you guys see this? Right there. That's the top of his head. I mean, it's kind of hard when you zoom in on it because it's just pixels. But see that? It's just that's in the same spot. Black hat, just like the killer has, right? And then he runs over here, and then they cut that video off. And then, then they go start it up again a few seconds later. Man, I think this is really interesting. I think we stumbled upon something here. And I don't normally say shit like that. And I think that's why they got rid of this video. Because this is literally just seconds later. And then there's this person right here. And that person is not the same person. Look at the head on that. Totally white. I don't think he's even got a hat on or anything. Just hair and whatnot. See that? That is totally different. But, interestingly, they run too. So what are the odds of that? If they're not connected somehow. So there he goes. He's walking this direction. And then right at this, he's already running. Oh man, that's too much right there. That's definitely a different person. And it's impossible for it not to be a different person. As I just showed you, the clock was 35 when he disappeared here, and then, I mean, just let's edit this thing the way it's supposed to be. I think it'll be more interesting. There's like a second or so missing in here, though. But there he goes. He's walking. That's him. And then right around in this area. That's the first one. Okay, it's that one. One of these isn't him. I can tell you that. Yeah, there's frames missing right there. I'm going to stop it right when the last motion is, which is right. Okay, right there. Go 1, Yeah, right there. And then I'm going to... So there's that car over there. Does that car continue on in a second here? At 37? And if it does, it'll be perfect. Can you see the car that showed up right there? This might be pretty interesting. Although there should be a gap. Oh, wow, look at that. That is crazy. It does move. So we're going to have to cut that part out. Slide it over. Wow, look at that. Oh, this thing here implies a connection. Like, this is what they didn't want in the video. Intentionally made it look kind of... Watch this. Oh, wait, hey, there's somebody coming. Look. Now watch. That guy's coming right after him. And he runs. I mean, you guys see that, right? Look at the car. On the last frame... Or maybe it's the next frame. Hold on. Let's see. 1. Look at that. Man, this is crazy right here. Hey, I do my own thing, devotee. If you have a show you want to put on, go ahead and do it. All right. See right over here. See, I hope you guys are following along with me here. See the guy's feet below, right there, and then they disappear, right? Now, I don't know where they go. I have no idea where they go after this. I got to be honest. I have no clue. And in fact, this whole portion over here seems to have frozen. Hold on. Okay, that's pixelation moving. So that is video. Okay. Right there, though. Right there, there's no motion. See, that means that these frames... Let me see here. This is crazy. I know exactly what I'm doing here. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But when you zoom in, you see this right here? Whenever video is playing, you get the slight... See how there's a slight sort of shifting around when I'm doing this? That's exactly what you get. Every time. And I'm going back now, right there. There's nothing for a little bit. So let's see. Right there. So there's some there. But right there. Look at how many frames. Yeah, see right in there, there's this whole segment that is not moving. And that's crazy because there is movement over here. See, if I zoomed in over here, see, there is motion during that same time. So it's strange how, like, right over here, it's almost like they, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but just that little segment, like, why didn't he keep moving? That's a bird, see that? Oh, it's a drone, everybody. That's an actual bird right there. See that? Come on, you guys. I need you guys' support for the channel. We just keep having these massive lulls, and it's going to be hard to make it. We need new channel memberships, etc. All right. So, I mean, the thing that's interesting is that... Let's go back again. He's right there. And then see how just his legs just disappear. So something happened. And then watch. Notice how, look at the pixels are... Oh, man. I just hit the wrong button. Let me go right back there again. Now, this is what's interesting is you go right here. And there he is. And then as soon as he disappears, this portion, when I scroll frame by frame, let's see, 1, like right now, 1, 2, look how there's nothing moving at all, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now there was a slight movement right there, right in this area. So 15, 17, and then 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, now you start seeing more movement again. It was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is some movements, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out why this guy, you know, he's running. You see the little blue thing, and then he just stops, disappears even. He's right there, and then, but he's gone. However, let's go. I'm going to show you. Let's go back a couple frames. There he is, right here. Let's go right to the frame where he's last seen. Okay, right there. That's the one he's last seen. Now let's move up here. And so maybe that might explain it. I don't see the car in the last frame that he is in. Let's hold on. I'm gonna put all this back in again. Hey, thanks so much, Lisa Belson. Wow, you're so kind. There's these nights I just feel like I'm just, it's such a struggle to get people to say, yeah, this guy is worth supporting, and it's just, you know. All right, okay, so he's right there. Yeah, so he's not there anymore. He's there. See, you can see the spread in his legs is right there. That's one leg, and that's another leg. And then the next frame, there's nothing. So if we stay on this frame, and then we look up over here, that car isn't there. So that's good news for conspiracy. It means that the camera detected motion, and then it like ran out or something. All right, so let's go to there. That's when it disappeared. And then, weirdly, that's right. And then that shows up the next frame. Actually, look at the time. 28, there's 8 seconds missing here. All right, so there's 8 seconds missing. And then 36, and then it stays on 36 way too long. And then let's just move it right when, so you see that car there. It sort of froze at that, at 8 seconds later. But I think there's still 8 seconds is a really short amount of time. All right, so then it moves. So let's go back until it, okay, 1, and then 1, and then back 1. So that's where we're going to remove all of that space, every bit of that, because that was, there's nothing happening there. All right, so what we're going to do is just put 8 seconds of like blank time. I mean, you could almost do it that way just to get the correct feel, but it isn't like this. The guy isn't that close to him. He's 8 seconds away. So let's do a, there's no way he could have ran around the block in 8 seconds. We can all agree with that, right? So that cannot be, I think the FBI, whoever put this out and they deleted it, realized that that's a problem. I mean, it's going to be something that people want to know, and it's a significant element. I think that's why they removed that. So when Zozo sent it to me earlier, I was like, who cares why they, you know, a lot of times they just remove stuff. But now, I think that what she sent to me earlier was that they deleted it. I had downloaded it before that. So let's let me put 8 seconds on here. All right. So here's how it really was, just like this. So here he is running, and then the motion activation or whatever, it stopped recording right in this location. Boom. Right? But he had looked back, saw somebody, and then here it goes. And now this other guy's over here, and he's going to start running. That's crazy. I mean, that is absolutely crazy, you guys. That's unreal. That's insane. Do they have that guy on camera? They should need to revisit what they're doing and track that guy. Here, watch this. Right here. See, there he is. Dark hat, everything. And look at the time. 25. And then he turned around and he started running over here. You see him running? Ah, crap. Hold on. Let's go back. Let me just keep it at a distance where you can... Yeah, let's try rotating it like this. And then scale it in a little bit. And then go like that. See, now it's kind of upright. All right, here we go. So just picture what he's doing over there. He literally stops and sees something and runs. See that? He's like, oh shit, ooh, I gotta go. And then it stopped recording right around in this area right there. Boom. Then there's 8 seconds. Absolutely impossible for him to run around the block or even got back to that spot. And then then this person with light head is following him and runs right here. Look. I mean, what the hell's he running for? Holy shit, you guys. I think that is something. Absolutely something here. What do you guys think? Yeah, that guy is likely a significant person. That guy is likely a significant person in this case, because I think the odds of that not being connected are so low, given the fact that if you watch him again, he's got the dark hat on, everything. He sees something, watch, and he goes, oh shit, ooh, and he turns and he starts running. Like, hey, go that way, you know? And then 8 seconds later, the person he saw that made him turn around and run shows up right here, following really quickly towards him. And then he starts running too. I mean, who runs, for God's sakes? At that time of day, where, you know, this is 2:16, there's nothing happening. Thank you, Jane Trumbull. Man, what do you guys think of this? I actually think this is something. And I think this actually might be why they got rid of this video. Because they realized, wait a minute, how does this work? Oh, whoa. So that guy went running after him. I mean, wouldn't it be weird if that guy is somebody who knew what he was going to be doing, and then he saw him, and then this guy was trying to catch up to him, but then, I don't know. Seems more likely that they're connected in some way. No, well, it's not just, it's one is the person, Melissa. It's not suspicious two people. This one here, if you got here late, I mean, that is the guy. This is the shooter right here. This guy right here. See that? He's got the dark hat on and everything. And they follow him around. It's right in the same block area. And then here he is, right there. He's got the black hat on, and etc. See that? The black hat right there. And you can still see it's the black hat, same exact look and everything. And he turns around and starts running this way. And then 8 seconds later, apparently the person he was looking at, he enters the scene. Right now. And that's a different person. Look at his head. See that? That isn't even close. Let me go backwards. It's white. It looks like he's got, like, you know, either some sort of white hat on, or he's just, you know, it's definitely not the same person. And he can't be the same person given the timing. This is only 8 seconds later. How would he get over there? What, he was doing wind sprints, you know? I don't think so. And then he took his hat off on one of them. And then here he goes. Yeah, he looked thinner, everything. He just looked different. Crazy, man. Absolutely insane. A lot of you doesn't seem like you realize the significance. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of. No, it's a big deal. I can tell you that. Hey, Hell, Reck, he does run. You sound absolutely confused. I'm sorry for your ignorance. Second guy does not run. What video were you watching, fool? It's right there, in front of your face. Yeah. We're going to need to see if we can get somebody out there to do some sort of a challenge, you guys. We're just absolutely struggling. We are currently at about 50% currently of a nightly goal, and I think this is quality material here. I've already showed him running. You sound dense. I'm sorry. Put a 1 if you're somebody in there that didn't see the second person running. All right? If you didn't see the second person running, then you need to have a lobotomy. All right? It was right there, right in front of your face. Or maybe you should follow a different topic online. What am I looking at? Looking. Oh, look at that! It's always Lisa Belson. She's always so kind. I wish some of the rest of you guys would try to do the same thing, but. Okay, here he is, you guys. Here is the challenge by Lisa Belson, the most generous person. She said, freak challenge, she'll donate 5 channel memberships if 5 of the rest of you freaks donate 5. I mean, just 1 apiece. So just 5 people have to donate 1, and then she'll donate 5 more. Is that something you guys can do this time? All right, here we go. I'm going to show you. You're going to see him running. All right? And when he runs, just go, oh, wow, I missed it. All right? Just say that. All right, Hellfire. So just admit it. Once you see him running, just admit it, okay? So there he is right there. That's the second person. Now watch right over here. He walks over here. And then right there he's running, right? Do you not see that? Or are you going to claim he's not running? He's just jogging fast. You sound like Candace Owens at that point. he's just jogging fast. All right, you guys, we need 5 gifted channel memberships. There's 1 by Saturn, Dreaming of Mercury. We need 4 more now. Did you see it that time? Go ahead, type it in. Hey, thank you, Anakin. Isn't that Skywalker? There's 2 of them. I mean, it's so funny. Like, yesterday when I said I didn't appreciate Trump's comment regarding, shit, my brain just, fried. But the actor, director. Reiner. Yeah, I didn't appreciate his comments. I thought they were beneath him and, the office, and shouldn't do that. That doesn't mean I don't support what he's doing, but people in the comment, you're a stealth liberal or something. It's like, what? What? So you can't say anything? You just have to accept shit like that? That's crazy. Hey, thank you. Silva is here. Hey everybody, Silva is here. Right there. She's right there. All right, we're just going to get through this and then we're going to play the press conference. All right? And the press conference, yeah, I think most conservative people when you heard what Trump said. I don't even give a damn if this guy was saying mean shit over the years. He was. You didn't like Trump. You still just don't say stuff like that. You know? You just don't do it. That's just kind of the way it is. I mean, he does. So you just kind of have to expect some of that. But, you know, we don't have to sit there and go, oh, wow, everything he does is so perfect. I see the things that other people don't like about him. And then there's things, I don't like some of those things. And then I like a lot of the other things, you know? And so it's sort of like one of those things you just have to choose. All right. So what did that guy? Did he ever comment again? That guy? Let's see. Too smart for your own good. I'm not sure what that even means, Dan. Did you see him running or not? Hellfire Club. I'm just wanting an answer. Did you see him running? All right. We need 2 more, you guys. 2 more gifted memberships. See if we can do it. Yeah, he's got to be a bigger person. He just needs to say, you know, he did some really great movies, and it's a big loss in the film industry, and he'll be missed by a family and his supporters. And he could even say, you know, he didn't like me very much, but I loved his movies that he made. See, that would actually have turned it around. You know, like, yeah, he didn't like me very much at all. In fact, he even called me like I was worse than Hitler. He could even say that. And then say, but you know what? I absolutely loved his movies, and he is going to be missed in Hollywood and by all of his family members, and, you know, I wish their family luck. You know, you could say something like that because it's kind of glaring. You know, it's sort of like Rosie O'Donnell. You know, like if Rosie O'Donnell passed away, wouldn't the first thing in your mind go, wow? You know, if you're somebody like him who has to say something like, wow, all she does is she even moved out of the country. You know, it's just, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, can you guys, let's get to those other 2 gifted channel memberships, all right? One of the sort of inside the show goals so we can get through the rest of this. Yeah, that's exactly right, Anakin. That's exactly what I would say. You see it happen a lot, actually. Like, you know, he just, when somebody slights him, he can't, you know, it's hard for him to just kind of let it go. I think it's hard for a lot of people. But with having the office that he's in, you sort of have to do that, I think. Yeah, I'm doing my own thing, fork and fork. When I get to it, I'll get to it. All right, just let me do my own thing. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we need 2 more gifted channel memberships, you guys. Shouldn't be that difficult. I can tell you that. Shouldn't have to ask 1,700 times. I can tell you that. All right, here we go. And this is on 157 Hope Street, and this is that same one that I was showing you earlier. This is that crazy shot where you just see part of him on the side right over here. So the first shot that you're looking at is he's right down there walking down the street, and then the second shot comes from a camera on this building right here filming him walking towards the camera. And this new video they put out does not have that in it. I put it there, though. Jesus, you guys. Why is it? It's just so easy. All right, then benevolent again. So I think he's running in these. See, look at. See how he's running? Now, it kind of makes you wonder if the guy comes in behind, because he's running right there. And that one you see his little side bag he's got. Look. See that? It's right around the front there. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Lisa Belson said she would match 5 gifted channel memberships. We've got 3 so far, and so it's 2 for 1 on your end. So if you donate 1, you get 2. Hey, Hellfire Club, I'm going to have to remove you from the channel, okay? Because you're being willfully ignorant. Bye-bye. You're not welcome here. See you later. Right, Black Hat guy's running and the other guy's running. I just showed it to you. Because you didn't see it, and I showed it to you meticulously and slowly. That means you're intentionally being willfully ignorant, and I don't deal with that. And then there's like this 30-minute gap, and then we start seeing some of these other videos. Yeah, so this one's at 2:51, so it's way later. Yeah, let's look back at some of these. So he's over here, and there's a person walking over there. And then I think he does go around this corner here, and then eventually starts running. So if this camera kept running there, you probably could have seen somebody coming towards him. No, it's 13 after. $110 benevolent. Okay, so it's right around this time frame. So he goes right there, and then you see somebody, and he goes running. And see him running. This is the suspect. And then he is running even before, so you can see him, like, let's see, let's play it again. So he turns around and immediately starts running. See that? You can see the pace of him running there. Right? And then it just cuts off. And then 8 seconds later, a different person with a dark colored hair, I mean a light colored hair, he doesn't even, it's totally different look, everything about the person is different. See, it's like light up there on top of his head, and then as he goes through right here, and then he starts running right now. See that? There he goes. Hey, does anybody have an answer why it's hard to get those last 2 channel memberships so we can get that matching done? I have no idea, man. Seems like it's like a no-brainer type of thing where it's 2 for 1, help support the channel. It's weird. Strangeness. And then this is just a minute or so later, so he may have been, like you would think, he's not looking behind him or anything. And I don't see him back there. There's feet up there, but that's probably not the same person. Hey, there's Shamo. Now, oh, look at that. Man. Jesus, you guys. There's Shamo and Saturn dreaming of Mercury. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's too bad they don't have more. Who's this? Let's see this person here. That's not him because the other person didn't have a white shirt. He's looking at that person down there. Thanks, Lisa Belson. Man, sorry that took so long, but hey, at least we got there. Huh? Crazy. Well, how do we know another glove went somewhere? He just didn't put his gloves on until he went in to kill. He doesn't have gloves on, and I don't think in any... I don't know, let's see. Hey, it looks like he does have gloves on in that one. It's weird how he just kind of takes them on and off. Like, what is he doing with them? Because he doesn't have them on in... let me go to my... This is a better setup here, where you see everything in the order that it took place. And even that little... this next clip after this. See, in here he doesn't have gloves on. See that? And then neither, right there, really, it's just, I'll tell you what, it's bad. If this camera was just aimed to the right a little bit more, it would be virtually the best camera that there is. Look how clear his hands are in that thing. You know? I mean, crystal clear almost. Just see the spacing between his fingers and everything. Huh. Crazy, huh? Let's see. Let's move it towards the... Let's go. I'm going to show you that one that I was looking at earlier. I think it's on this shot. I don't know if it's this particular... No, so the next time it's there. This one. I don't know. So one of these shots on a different video looked like it was square almost. Like right in here. See that? I mean, it might just be pixelation or whatever, but maybe it is true that he had like armor in there. Don't know. But man, this guy was always looking around, waiting. It just... I think they're missing something if they're not focused in on this area. I mean, what was he doing? You know, he was waiting for somebody in this area to get into that school. That's what it feels like to me. And this is pretty much everywhere there's a pin on here is where there's cameras or him moving. You know, I don't know if he came up here sometimes. And they don't really show him when he gets there at 10:30. If I was them, I'd... I don't think so. If I was them, I would make it so that they... I mean, I would release every single piece of video that they've got. I don't think they're doing that. Yeah, maybe he's got it under his jacket, you know. Who the hell knows? I mean, that's something I was thinking about earlier. I mean, is what's bulging? Is that his backpack underneath him? Why does he have it out sometimes? You know, does he have the gun in the backpack? Did he walk over towards the building? You know, for example, remember when the officer, I think, drives down this street here? I think it's that one. Let's go take a look. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is this one. Yep. There you go. That's the same spot. And so when we're looking at this one, where is he coming from? I mean, he just walked across the street. Right? I think that's right. Right when it starts, he's still making his way across. Let's see. Yeah, like he just got across, and there he is. Is that for sure him, though? I mean, well, he's got, like, this guy has like a... Here, does that even make sense? Hold on, let's look at some stuff here. 250. Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah, so 253:48. He's walking this direction, and then he must make his way across. So now we know that we can probably extend this one out like to about like this, and then he kind of goes that way. And what time do they have? I think they just mention it right before that. So they have 2:53, so it's probably late in that minute. I mean, I don't even know. Seems like it'd be 2:54. I thought this was kind of weird. This is the beginning of the footage. It's like got like overlap footage from likely in the garage where they store the vehicle. You know, because watch. It just like slowly shifts into like this, right? Like it was video that recorded over the like, hey, better hit record or whatever. You know, so it's got whatever this is, probably the parking garage. And he's walking to the right. So, wow, I wonder where he's going there. But maybe he put the bag, and maybe the bag had a gun in it, and he hid that. So then he could walk around later and then go get it before going in. You know, who knows? Might have just had it under his front of his shirt. Wonder where he did all that. The video just stopped recording in that video. There's 8 seconds missing before the next. You know, a lot of cameras are motion activated, and so they only run for a certain amount of time. All right. Anyways, you guys want to, let's do the press conference here. But if you guys could help support the channel during the press conference, that'd be great. We're still not at the minimum goal. So see if we can somehow do it. I boosted up the audio and tried to make it so that you could hear the questions. It's pretty long. It's like 50 minutes, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Good evening, everybody. It's Providence Mayor Brett Smiley with another update today. In just a moment, Colonel Perez will give an update on the investigation, including video that was released. That video was released just a little while ago. If you are here and do not have that video, you can see Camille or Julie, and they can send that to you while we're reporting. All
right. Somebody wanted me to watch a certain part of the video, so hold on a second. Oh, they want me to look right there. Yeah, what about it? Yeah, he's running through. Oh, what was that? What was that? Oh, that's the bird, yeah. Yeah, there's a bird flying around. See? You can see a bird right there, the white thing. Maybe that's not what they're talking about. People never give me enough information. Yeah, there's nothing there. What a waste of time. Jesus.
Camille and Julie are your contact to be on the press distribution list to be advised of future announcements. At this time, I'll introduce Providence Police Chief Colonel Oscar Perez.
Thank you, Mayor. So as the mayor stated, we're about to show you a video. If we can have the IT officer play.
All right, I'm just going to move it past. This is they're just silently watch the same video that we've just gone over.
Please let us know. And the reason we have shown these videos, there's a purpose, right? So as you can see, they're enhanced photos, there's enhanced video footage. And so we're asking the public to ensure that they can see here that you want to focus on the body movements, the way the person moved their arms, the body posture, the way they carry their weight. I think those are important movement patterns that may help you identify this individual, which is extremely important. Another thing that we're going to ask the public is if you have any type of camera system, including Teslas, in your property. In this video that you just saw behind me, it all comes from the residential block of Waterman Avenue, Power, Ives, and Hope Street. And it's those residential areas that we're asking the public.
Yeah, what's is it Ives, like Robert Ives, or what is it? Oh, I guess so. So all the way down here, huh? Interesting. So they might have them down there.
To look if you have any camera systems or any Teslas, like I mentioned.
I think it's really idiotic to limit it. I would say anybody that lives in this area, like the whole area of the campus area, to check your surveillance footage, not limit it to specific streets or inside of this area or that.
Look at that footage, and then you can reach out to us and please provide us anything that you have. And we're asking you to go back at least a week to do that. And the reason for that is because on Saturday night, the day of, we actually learned that this individual was in that neighborhood at around 10:30 in the morning. We also know in this profession that many criminals will case out an area weeks and days prior. And so it's important for us to ensure that we can have you look at that and help us. And the reason for that is because our offices, our agents, are looking at terabytes of data. And we're looking for a moment that is shorter than somebody taking a breath. It's incredible hard work to do that. And so we're asking the public to assist us with that. The other thing is the tip center. We have been receiving hundreds of tips. However, we're about close to 200 actionable tips that we're still conducting investigations on, which is incredible and is important. Again, keep in mind that this video footage is extremely important to us. And one more thing here that as a reminder, please remember that the number that we need you to call is 401-272-3121, as well as the link that the FBI provided, which is fbi.gov, Brown University shootings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel. Now we'll hear from FBI Special Agent in Charge, Ted Dux.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and good evening. My name is Ted Dux. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of FBI Boston. On the heels of this tragedy, strength and resilience of the people of Providence is a powerful reminder of the bonds that unite us. The men and women of the FBI, along with the law enforcement team standing before you, carry the victims with us as we work around the clock to bring the individual responsible for their injuries and deaths to justice. Today, the FBI is working with Brown University to do everything we can to provide services to those impacted by this horrific shooting. The FBI has almost 30 victim specialists, special agents, and analysts from all over the country who are here in Providence to support our survivors, the victims, and their loved ones. The FBI Victim Services Response Team is one of the many specialized FBI assets that have been deployed here to assist. The toll this type of tragedy takes on victims and their families is immeasurable, and we ask everyone to respect their privacy at this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Special Agent. Next, Attorney General Peter Nerona.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a lot to add other than that from my perspective. I think the investigation in a case like this, which is a challenging one, is going really well. On the third floor of this building, there are dozens of agents detectives led by Providence Police, prosecutors from my office, working to put together, and what you're seeing is just a portion of what they're working on right now. So they are literally, because I have seen at least part of it, the shift changes late at night. I think Rhode Islanders should take confidence in their work. They are veterans of what they do. They're smart, they're professional, and they're getting the resources from the mayor and the governor that they need, the state police as well, to get this job done, and I'm confident they're going to be able to do that. Just need a little bit of patience, as hard as it is to say that in this really horrible context. Thank you.
Thank you, General. Governor Dan McKee for an update.
You know, this mayor, I don't like the mayor here. Just get the hell out of here, mayor. You're not an expert on any of this stuff. You're not managing it. Just let other people that know what the hell they're talking about talk. This guy obviously just wants his face up there.
Update now.
Thanks, Mayor. And right off the top, we're just making sure that the state is supporting Providence and Brown University, and then working with the FBI as well as our state police and the Attorney General to continue to provide information to the people in the state of Rhode Island. My information is that recently, today, we've met with all the university presidents in the state of Rhode Island. We know that we want to start a working group that will talk about enhancing the safety issues. And you'll see shortly that we'll be doing the same thing in terms of the mental health issues. And I think that's important. As I'm out and about, we're hearing a great deal of anxiety coming from families and students and the general public. And that's one of the reasons why our state police has supported the Providence schools with presence as school begins and school ends, in support of the mayor and his efforts to support the schools.
Thank you, Governor. We're also joined tonight by Brown University President Christina Paxson.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to begin by thanking the many law enforcement agencies who continue to work around the clock on this case. It's very impressive. I also want to thank the mayor and the governor for their continued support. The primary point that I wanted to address before we get to questions is that Brown is deeply committed to the safety and security and well-being of our community.
All right, we got to check it again, everybody. We got to check it again. Somebody else wants to have something looked at. Which one are you talking about? This one? The driveway? I don't know what video you're talking about. You said, "Hey, Gray, watch the driveway in the video from the backyard." There's tons of them. There's this one right here, right? Oh, you're thinking this guy, right? That person? Hold on. Oh, that's sort of interesting, if that is him. When would he have seen that person, though? If that's him. I guess we were kind of zoomed in over like this the whole time. We weren't going to be able to see something like that. Let's see if it's the same. Does it make sense? He's walking. Now let's just move my mouse. Oh, wow. It came right on. I don't know, though. It doesn't look like the same. I don't know. Let's see. It does sort of look like him. It matched perfectly with what I just did. I mean, that was pretty wild. So he's got like that white part on top of his head, too. That's weird. So if you kind of keep going, like he's going about like this pace. And then, wow, it's the same twice in a row. Could be him. So let's see. Wait, where do I have the... No, it has to be this one is how you would do it. So he's over there to the right. I guess it's kind of the same thing. Although he's there a lot quicker than you would think. That's 8 seconds. I don't know, that seems maybe... He's already gone by there, right? So he's... Yeah, it seems like that probably would be him. So when he goes there, does he sort of look over there? Let's see. So he sees the guy coming from the right down there, and then he starts running, and then the other guy. That's crazy. I don't know, man. It just seems so bizarre that two people would be running, and one looks like he saw something and ran, and then this guy looks like, oh, he sees something in front of him down there, and he starts running. You know? Weird. Welcome, Mary.
And I've been deeply saddened to see people questioning that. We understand that as time goes on, there is maybe a natural instinct to assign responsibility for a tragic event like this. Anxiety and fear is very natural, but the shooter is responsible. Horrific gun violence took the lives of these students and hospitalized others. And it's deeply sad and tragic that schools across the country are targets of violence. Brown is no exception. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement, and again, we thank the multiple agencies that have been working so hard day and night with increased patrols to keep our campus safe and to investigate this horrific shooting. Thank you.
Thank you, President Paxson. I'll give a couple updates on behalf.
Yeah, by the way, there's a still frame that they released. And, you know, you can definitely see the bag there. See that? Right there. See a bag, and it goes over his shoulder.
Yeah. The city, and then we'll take your questions. First, as has been discussed many times, we continue to have enhanced police presence throughout the city of Providence to help bolster the confidence and provide a sense of additional security to our residents. Today, we were aided by neighboring municipalities in Central Falls and North Providence with supplemental officers. We're grateful to our neighbors for sticking up and standing up with Providence. The state police continues to be an incredible partner, and I thank the governor and Colonel Weaver for their partnership. Providence Public Schools remain in session. Friday is the last day of school before winter break. Spent some time at our schools again today. As has been the case in the past, the schools in the area of Brown are having regular police presence, and because of the assistance of the Rhode Island State Police, we've been able to provide additional police presence and coverage to other schools in Providence. We thank them for that. When I was at one of our elementary schools this morning, the faculty were having a brief meeting before kids started to arrive, and in discussion with some of the teachers, I asked how they were doing, and one of the teachers said what I think a lot of us are feeling. She said, you know, it's hard, but I'm putting on a good face for the kids. We need to be here for them. And I think that's how a lot of our residents feel right now, which is that we are taking very tentative steps forward, but we're doing it for one another. And so I do want to thank our educators at this time. They're being asked to go to school right now. Our principals are asked to be going to school right now for the sake of the families and the kids. And at that same school, there was a second grader literally skipping to the front door because he's a second grader, and he doesn't know everything that's going on in this scary world right now. And so the strength of the adults has allowed that little kid to skip to school this morning. And so I want to thank all of my fellow residents of Providence for putting on a strong face for the sake of others at this time. There were questions yesterday, and so I'll also just give a brief update on the health status of the survivors. If folks will recall, there had been 8 hospitalized. 1 has since been discharged. There had been 8 hospitalized. 1 has since been discharged. The 7 that remain in the hospital, 1 is in critical status, 5 in critical but stable status, although healthcare providers report that they are improving, and 1 in stable status. Those are the 7. 1 in critical, 5 in critical but stable, 1 in stable status, and 1 discharged since the last time we made comments about their safety and recovery from the podium. Now we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, so the question was if I could just repeat what I stated earlier in English as far as what occurred here, the reasons for the video, and what I was requesting from the public. So, estamos pidiendo al público verdaderamente que el video lo que hicimos fue que lo aumentamos para que vean la manera en cómo camina la persona, cómo mueve sus brazos, los movimientos que tiene. Eso es muy importante para que de pronto nos ayuden a que ellos se identifiquen a esta persona. Importantísimo. Lo segundo es que estos videos fueron tomados más que todo en una área residencial que incluye la calle Hope, la calle de la Waterman Avenue, la calle de la Power Street y la calle de la Ive Street. Entonces es importantísimo, están pidiendo al público que identifique si tiene sistemas de cámaras, también como vehículos de los Tesla, que tienen ese tipo de data, para que nos lo mande a nosotros, importantísimo para nosotros verificarlo, y que vayan una semana atrás del incidente. Porque hay una información que tenemos que esta persona a las 10 de la mañana del sábado fue vista.
There should be no reason to have to speak Spanish to people in the audience there.
What do you believe he was doing there at that time?
Correct, and we have video footage of that, and we believe that he was actually casing out this area to commit the crime. That's a pattern that criminals do, and that's what he was doing.
Right. Chief, yesterday the FBI described the person that we've been seeing these images as a suspect. Today, the language seems to be a person of interest. Can you clarify, do you believe that this person that we're looking at is your shooter, is your shooting suspect?
Definitely, he's still a person of interest, and we're still investigating that to be able to get that answer. But we strongly believe definitely is a suspect in the.
Hey, thanks so much, Chris O'Connell, the Lull Buster, along with Bruce Holdaway and Saturn, Dreaming of Mercury. Thank you.
Incident in a person of interest.
I mean, they answer questions for like 40 minutes, which is good. Can you guys even hear that? That one sounds kind of quiet. Let me see. Let me boost this area up here. And then probably all of these. It's crazy.
Professor Dyatlov this morning from the job. Does that incident have any potential connection to this investigation?
Not that we know of, no.
In the back, sir.
To ask you, yesterday we were wondering about this person's age. Now that we've seen more video, again, a couple of days ago, I know you were saying 20s, so some talk about 30s, but just to help people at home who see this video, do profilers or anyone in your department have any better understanding or closer idea on his age? And the second part of that question is, can you now confirm that there's no connection as a past student or as a past staff member at the university?
So the first question, I'll tell you that when it happened on Saturday night, obviously it was chaos, and there was a witness that stated that he might have been in his 30s. At this point, we're still just looking at the picture. We haven't identified ages or anything to that point. And as far as where he's a problem student or anything, we don't have any of those answers, no.
Colonel, in one of the new videos, prior to the shooting, this person's interest is seen running. At this point, do you have any inkling why he's
Yeah, we're still investigating that, but what we do know is definitely that he was casing the area. And again, that's what criminals do prior to committing a crime.
But how come they didn't mention that there was a guy that ran right after him? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell. Yes.
Chris.
Is that the FBI and PPO reporting from what I'm looking online? It looks like they're releasing separate videos at separate times. Are you guys still coordinating, or?
We are. You got to understand that there's a lot of people upstairs, as the general stated earlier, and we're trying to ensure that we do this right job and collect the evidence and that we need, and we want to make sure that everybody has especially you guys in the public. One thing I want to make sure that the community is safe, well informed, and stay confident in the work that we're doing. So yes, there was a video that was released, but we also were working on another video, and the purpose of this this press conference is to ensure that the public can see those videos showing movements, like I stated earlier, the way a person walks, the way they carry their weight. That's the importance. And so our video, the second video that we showed was the one that we needed to show the public.
All right, please.
In terms of cameras inside and outside the building, are those working at all? And if so, why not release them?
So the video that we showed you came from inside the building, and that's all we had at the moment. That's all we have at this moment. Correct.
Inside the building, though?
I'm sorry.
It's from the outside.
I'm sorry.
So do you have video of
Yes.
inside the engineering?
Both inside and outside. I'm sorry, just outside. That's all we have, not inside. No. I'm sorry, just outside. That was released already. That was the outside of the building. We already released that.
Yeah, let me just jump here and clarify.
Well, thank you, Lisa Belson. Wow, you guys. Well, that was already 10 of the 15. That was amazing. Look at this weird moment here, though. This guy doesn't even watch this.
That was released already. That was the outside of the building. We already released that.
Yeah, let me just jump.
So he makes it sound like there's like, I mean, he was so...
Both inside and outside. I'm sorry, just outside. That's all we have, not inside. No.
Right. It's almost like were they not supposed to say that? Or is that just the fact that they're all like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, and then he corrects.
I'm sorry, just outside. That was released already. That was the outside of the building. We already released that.
Yeah, let me just jump here and clarify. Okay, so there is, for those of you who've been with us before, and I understand not all of you have been, there is video inside the building. There are cameras inside the building. What we have released to you are videos of this person of interest. So I want to be clear, because later on there may be other videos that get released in the course of a prosecution. Likely will be at some point. They show things like chaos after the shooting. What they don't show is this person of interest, and so that's why we haven't released those videos. Okay, what you do have are videos from a camera outside of the Brown building and other cameras from around the neighborhood that the good men and women in law enforcement located and have put together in this montage. And to your question, Chris, there are two versions of that video, but the bottom line is they, as I understand it, they depict the same thing, and number one, and number two, the agencies are working very, very well together, as I think the special agent in charge would agree.
And so you've got a follow up, and then we're going here.
Just to clarify, there's no clear video of the suspect inside the engineering.
I just said that.
That's correct.
Well, no, you didn't say that. You said originally, you said you... I mean, you did clarify.
I've been here since Saturday speaking to people who are living in the residential building.
Here, let me boost this whole thing up here. Hold on. Let me hit save so we don't lose anything. Alright, looks like it's kind of a long question. I'm going to boost it up about 10. Anyways, thank you so much, Lisa Belson.
No clear video of the suspect inside the engineering.
I just said that.
That's correct.
Now, can I just ask as well, further to the surveillance footage that you have received, I've been here since Saturday speaking to people who are living in the residential buildings around and in the businesses, and many of the store clerks there have told me it wasn't until this morning that the police had actually come to ask them if they had anything that they could offer, any CCTV or any evidence that they could provide. Why has it taken 3 days for these people to have police come to them or ask them for assistance?
As I stated earlier, it's a residential block.
Folks there have told me it wasn't until this morning that the police had actually come to ask them if they had anything that they could offer, any CCTV or any evidence that they could.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I said that same thing on my show. I think when they arrested that first guy, that person of interest, they sort of were like, okay, we got him, and they didn't do. They should have been canvassing and asking for surveillance footage the whole time, and not just right around that area, the whole freaking town, and have everybody look at their surveillance for anybody that possibly looks like that person, even if they're wearing different clothing, and have people turn it in. Even if you're not sure, let us know. You know? You bastard. All right, if we can get 5 more gifted channel memberships, I will donate 5 myself.
Why has it taken 3 days for these people to have police come to them or ask them for assistance?
As I stated earlier, it's a residential block that includes a lot of homes, a lot of different camera footage, and it takes a lot of work in the sense that there's a lot of terabytes that we're looking at.
Oh, God, the terabyte argument. The terabyte argument. Man, I can't stand that one. You know, videos are big. Yes, everybody, we know videos are big. All right.
And sometimes it's just a moment that we need, and it's almost shorter than somebody taking a breath. So it takes a lot of work. And then so once...
God, I would love to have that job. I would spend 24 hours a day just staring at that machine.
That leads us to the next location. And so we move strategically. We have to pull the video, download it, analyze it, investigate it, and then move forward. It takes time.
Yeah, I just want to jump in there too, because I think I want to clarify in a sense what the chief is saying. Is that you start in the grid in the first instance that's closest to ground. It takes a lot of work to canvas that area, and then you build out as you learn more about the path of travel. So it's entirely possible that
No, you don't. You go and collect every bit of the video that's around the town from everybody. You don't one day go, hey, you guys, we see that he's over here. Would everybody on that street? That's not how you do it. You look up and you catalog. What I would do is get surveillance from every single person in the town that has surveillance at all. I would go by and just go, do you have any surveillance on this date between 9 in the morning and 5 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock at night? Do you have that? Okay, can I have a copy of it? Thank you. And then I would plot out on a map where every bit of the surveillance that I've got. Then as you're tracking the person on the map, you go, oh, shit, Joe Smith over here gave us some footage. Let's see if he's on there. Oh, bingo. There we go. And then a guy over here on this street. You know what I'm saying? It's so freaking simple. You know, build a map of the people who gave you the surveillance footage, but get it from every single person that had a working camera. Can I get an amen? Jesus.
Tomorrow, we'll be canvassing places that we haven't
canvassing
yet.
What do you mean canvassing tomorrow? This should already be. What they really should have done was create a Dropbox area and say, listen, if you're out there and you feel comfortable, here's a link. Just upload your security footage. If not, give us a call. We'll just come by, pick it up, and we'll We'll just make a copy of it. We'll copy the files off, and we'll copy it. And then you just make a map, put every single piece of the footage that you've got on a map and catalog it, and then start tracking out the movements and seeing if you can pick them up, and you might eventually end up at where his car was. But asking all these days later, people have the opportunity, it's possible to get written over, something like that.
Because we're working out with the resources.
God, that's frustrating.
Dan, go ahead.
Thank you, Timothy Cecil. Hey, we need 3 more of those.
Follow up on my colleague. This is the question I asked on Saturday night, which is, so there's cameras in the hallway, but they don't show the suspect or Brown is not releasing them, or you're not releasing them to us. How does a multi-million-dollar school not have a bunch of cameras in the hallway?
So let me try to explain that. So, as President Paxson knows, there was a major addition put on that building within the last 5 years or so. That is a modern building attached to a much older one in the back. So it doesn't come as a surprise to me, at least, that there are cameras in the newer part of the building. And there is video footage, okay? So there's the back part of the building, old part, and front part, new part. The shooting occurs in the old part, towards the back, up towards Hope Street. in that older part of the building, there are fewer, if any, cameras in that location. I imagine because it's an older building. So as students are fleeing the area...
Yeah, it turns out, like, if you look at the map up here, the area on campus, there's cameras all over the place, but there aren't very many right here. I mean, is it possible this guy's just a killer? You know, that just, you know, like a Koberger type? Although there's that guy running after him. I mean, I don't know what the hell that is. It's really weird. What doesn't work? Hey, thanks. Marty's Bar and Grill. I'm sure it was a very cool bar and grill. I wanted him to send me some pictures. I always liked those bars, you know, back in the day. There's, let's see, Joan said, but if you have all the film of people walking by, not all the footage could really have the shooter clarity, so bad plenty of innocent. No, what you do is it's for the cops to use, Joan. They just use it, and when they find the suspect, they can blur out people if they want. They don't have to. Obviously, that's not the one they're looking at, you know. No, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't put those out. You would just put the suspect. You go, here's the suspect. You know, if there's 9 other people walking, nobody's going to go, ooh, look, they're all suspects. I mean, people, at least there's, I don't know. There are a lot of just total idiots on social media, especially YouTube creators who want to invent conspiracy theories and start pointing out everybody, and they research all these other people that have nothing to do with anything, just to give content to the people that watch them, even though they know that there's absolutely no meaning at all looking into it.
Of the shooting into the new part of the building, there are cameras in that brand new building that show that chaos. But the only video of the presumed, anticipated, suspected, however you want to define it, person of interest, you have it. We would release it if we thought it would be helpful in identifying this subject because...
Release it even if you don't think it is, but you know it's him. Like it's a little blurry. Release every single bit.
We are relying on the press and public to help get us there. There would be no reason for us to hold it back. We're looking for the best image we can.
Dan got a follow-up.
Attorney General, thank you for explaining that because
Bruce Holdaway, you bastard.
Because it really clarifies it. Although I'm sure some people watching would think a multi-million-dollar school with a huge endowment could afford new cameras in an old building. That's my statement. Here's my question. If he's casing that area, Colonel, like you said, he had an intended target, which speaks to the motive. Did he have a target to kill one of the 2 people that were killed?
We're still investigating it, Dan, and it's something that we're trying to get the answers as well. So.
Patrick.
Yeah. For President Paxson, have you reviewed any communications to Brown before the shooting that revealed any kind of threat, any kind to anyone at Brown? And then since the shooting, I believe some web pages for students or faculty have been taken down. Is that a response to any external threats to anyone in the community?
We have been working very closely with law enforcement to provide them with all of the internal to Brown information that they need to do this investigation. It's their investigation. They're the professionals. So we're providing information. We're not in the job of reviewing it for them. I know nothing about web pages being taken down as part of this.
This lady should be removed immediately she is just, wow. I mean, does she even know what's going on at her school? Remember the other day, the person was like, do you know what the class was about? And she goes, I don't know. How come? How do you not know that?
In the back, yep.
You want people to feel safe. Can you say this person of interest is no longer in Providence, no longer in Rhode Island, are they out of the state? Do they have any sense at all?
That's such a dumb question. Do you think that the guy's out of state right now? Well, how would we know that without knowing who it was? If we don't know who it is, how is it even possible to know where the hell the person might be.
I can't speak to the investigation, and if there's a follow-up for either the general or the colonel, I'm sure they'd be happy to answer it. But I'll restate what I've said several times now, which remains true as another day passes. Since the initial call came in at 4:05 p.m. on Saturday, we have not received, and this is now updated with another 24 hours have passed, a single credible specific threat to the area, to the city related to this event, and as far as I know, to the state. And I know that this is a question that many people are struggling with, and it's difficult conversations that I've had with many of my constituents, including a very anxious parent this morning. The best information we have is that there is no credible, actionable, specific threat that has occurred since Saturday. And in order to enhance and ensure the safety of our community, we have stepped up law enforcement efforts throughout the city in a precautionary measure, in an abundance of caution, to try to get...
Well, thanks. Look at that, you guys. This channel and community is seriously one of the nicest I've been on. Wow, that's a miracle. If you listen to the trolls all the time, they'll say, we're just so mean over here. One thing over here that we, my channel, for better, for worse, whatever the hell you want to, I just like to have factual information that we put together to try to come up with what happened in a case. Surveillance footage, probable cause documents, and good, journalism, from the big networks that might have inside information. Those are what we try to use here. But when people show up and they start bitching, they start, they want to throw out every conspiracy theory under the sun, and then they start bitching because I don't accept it or I don't respond in a way that they want. They get all upset. And I don't know, I'm sort of like the anti-Candace Owens, I'm the opposite of what she does. I try to make it interesting for people, but if it's not interesting, don't watch. But if you like what I do, I think I come up with creative ways in cases to figure things out. Like we just did. What was the one we just did with the surveillance footage? Oh yeah, even the Idaho 4 case. I did a really good job with the surveillance in there. But then just recently with the newly released footage, I took the daylight footage and overlaid it over top of the nighttime footage, changed the transparency level, and then the contrast, etc. Then you can see the vehicle at night driving around and what it actually looked like while it was driving around. See, those are things that you don't see other people even think of doing. They just, whatever works. Quickly get it there. Look at this. And they don't really put the effort in to try to come up with a unique way of looking at it. I think that's kind of what my thing is here, is we try to look at cases in a unique way.
Try to give comfort and confidence to people who have to,
when we have
take
the
steps
information
forward in
to
their
do
daily
so,
lives, who have to take their kids to school, who have to get to work. And that is the honest answer.
See, the more information you get, the more creative you can be. If you just have articles saying, hey, Sam said that, there's nothing you can do. But especially when you have video and probable cause documents and things like that, you can do extra.
The best answer we have at this time as the days continue to pass.
Mr. Mayor, with that, can you tell us where you believe he may be?
Well, it seems like nobody ever listens to me when I'm talking. It's just
that question was asked as well. So, Colonel, I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, we'll continue to investigate that. That's not, listen, we're looking for the same answers as the mayor stated. We haven't really received any credible info as far as any other calls for that.
Yeah, we've gone over all that, Grant. You probably missed the first part of the show.
That nature, but I'll tell you that we have enhanced our...
Okay, I'm going to go back for the people who missed the first part really quick. We'll get right back to there. The significant element of the case that we discovered earlier in the show is right here. This is a big deal. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, this is a big deal right here. It's bigly. So look at right here. This is the guy. See him walking? Got the black hat on. He's standing there, and he looks at something. He runs, right? He runs, but then the camera stops recording right there, and then there's 8 seconds. 8 seconds of time. And then look at this guy. Then this guy starts walking. It's like he saw him on the corner there. And then look at this. Watch. He starts running towards him. I mean, what in the hell is that? I mean, that means that they're connected somehow. Nobody would just start chasing somebody. Yeah, like, hey, there's a guy there. I'm going to chase him. All right, so let's look at this again. We'll use this part over here. So look at this guy, and then way over here to the right, and then him standing right there. So you can watch them together. He looks down and sees him and goes, oh, shit. And then I think that guy actually started walking a little bit quicker right then. And then there's 8 seconds of missing footage, probably because it's motion activated. And then, boom, that guy makes it around the corner. And he's walking really fast. Look at the pace he's walking. Really fast. And then he goes, okay, shit, I got to start running. I mean, that's 100% means something. Does anybody think that's just not connected and it's just a coincidence? Do you think that's just a coincidence there? There's no way. I mean, coincidences happen. I just don't think that is, because he saw the person. He saw other people and he didn't run. He saw that one and he ran. Now, why was he running from? That's crazy. I want to know, was that person behind him in the class later? Too. I mean, whether they're connected in some way, however they're connected, we don't know at this point. It's interesting that it seemed like he was running away from that person, right? You don't what, Melissa? You don't what? Let's see. Could it be a police officer? No. He was just a regularly dressed person. I think that is absolutely. I don't think any other YouTubers pointed that out yet. That other person is not the same one, because the way they edited the clip, you kind of thought it was the same. I think this might be why they removed this footage. So just look at that again. We'll start it back here, and you can look. You look over here to the right and over here. Somebody pointed out that you can see him walking. So look at his pace over here. See how he's just kind of lumberingly slow? You know, he's not really hustling. But then he saw him and went, ooh, and he ran this way. And then when you see him coming around the corner, it's 8 seconds of missing time. And then right here, he's walking way quicker pace. And then you can see, he sees him down the street, right? So let's see, where the hell is that? That would be right over... yeah, that's the one with the red driveway right here. So that's right here, going like this, and then he goes around this corner. So I guess I don't even have that one in there. That's interesting. Let's see. So this would be, he would go like this and around this direction. And then the other guy was walking like this, and then he follows him around, and he runs too. But then, just after that, that's when he walks down this street, and apparently that guy didn't keep following him. Because we see him, let's see, this footage here is 216, right? And he goes around this corner, and then he takes a hard left here, and then we don't see the guy coming after him behind him. Maybe they met up over here. You know, maybe it was like, hey, come on, you know. And they met up somewhere. It was like, go time, or we got to hurry up. You know, I just don't know what that is. Right, you don't think it's a coincidence, right? Yeah, there's almost no way that's a coincidence. It's either chasing him or they're meeting up. Like, oh, there you are, hey, come on, you know. like, hey, there you are. And he's like, oh, okay, there you are. Both of them recognize each other at that moment. Because what's interesting on the video is, let's go over to my other version over here. And so it's right over here. So there they are. Let's watch it from this distance. There he is over here. There's this guy, and then there's the suspect. And you'll see how there's just messed up footage. It's right now it stops recording. And then look at this, 36. It's not even moving up here. It's just a frozen frame. I think they leave the same frame. Oh, I know what they did. They actually left the 8 seconds up there as a still frame because it stopped recording. Oh, well, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. But they used a still frame that was blank. No, they used the first frame where it started moving again. Right. That's probably a better way to do it than what I did. Because that way at least you're looking at something. But anyways, that guy right here, he's walking by over in the upper right. And then he sees him and starts running. Down like this. And now this is 8 seconds of frozen, a single still frame, because there was no video. And see how it stopped at 30, now it's starting at 38, 39, picking up again. And then this guy comes around and then boom. Right around here he starts running. So what they did was, because there was no motion, the camera stopped recording and they just put a still frame down to fill in those 8 seconds. And in fact, I would imagine, just to prove what I just said, if we went in here in that time frame where it's 36, that there will be, I'll go frame by frame and there won't be any pixelation. I guess there's a little bit because it's been compressed, but it's not, there's no movement. There's nothing happening out on the street or anything. See how still everything is? There's not even a leaf wiggling, nothing. And now a car shows up after it starts up again. All right, anyways. I think that's huge. I think that's a huge deal right there. Why, Dante? Okay, let's get back to this.
Our presence in a part of the city, and we're using
we already zoomed
every
in
resource
on
we have, and every call that comes in, we're responding to it immediately.
Pat.
Hey, what? People ask, hey, do this. Send in super chats, and I'll probably do something. That's how it works on here. You do the super chats, people get their questions answered, they, things like that.
We're working our way.
That's how we make it as a channel. Hey, thanks, Bruce Holloway. No lulls. Okay, let me boost up this audio over here. Let's see. So we can hear the question better. See, 12-ish. There we go.
It's Pat, so we're working our way across the room here. Pat.
Pat Wardkowitz Radio. In a case involving a hit-and-run accident in the vicinity of Brown University that was litigated by
we've already seen him, Dante.
General in 2023, Brown University Police Detective John Remka stated that the university maintained several thousand video surveillance cameras and license plate readers on Brown University campus and surrounding campus. Now, this is in addition, obviously, to the Providence-based data center. Attorney General
I'll do it after this.
Essentially giving your department a thorough understanding of the landscape. Why do you think there are more video and metadata, and were those cameras all operational?
Yeah, I can't speak to what was operational or wasn't, but I will say this, that, and I've answered this question a few times today, and I'll try to do my best to answer it again. So somebody reported, it might have been the Globe, that there are 800 cameras or so on the campus. It might have been the Globe. 1,200? But this building is on the very edge of the campus.
That's why it's just like Tyler Robinson. I mean, Tyler picked the building, the Losi Center building, on the edge of campus. There was really only, the camera in the tunnel, and the only camera that picked him up on campus was one 360-degree camera up in the air. That's it.
If you know, I know that building well. I had two sons who spent a good chunk of their lives there. It's at the very edge of the campus. It's not in the heartland of the campus. It's not the green. And there are several greens. It's not any of the three greens as I remember them. So it's right on the edge of the campus and where the shooting took place is at the very edge of that building on the edge of the campus. And so, as those of you who know Providence know, you are very quickly into a...
All right, Dante, I'll just do it for you over here. We've already did this earlier, but we'll do it again. See, it looks like he's got a little backpack on himself. Almost looks like he has a really long beard, like a ridiculously long beard, doesn't it? Like right there, you know? I thought at first it looked like he had like a cane because of the pixelation. See, a lot of people see this little white area right along. People go, see, it's fake, it's fake. No, that's just how it works, man. That's how it works on video, and a car could drive by and it would do the same thing. Just exactly, you know, why it does that, I don't know. It's part of the compression. So you see him right in there. See, at this point, he's seen that person, though. So when you watch him walk, it seems like he picks up the pace right at that moment. See, right there, he's walking way, let's see how fast. How's he walking right when he comes into the scene? Like right there, sort of slow, and then bing, bing, bing. Now he's really picking it up because he sees him. And that guy's probably about right there now. Coming around, and he's going to be right in here. Right there. Man. That's... Yeah, if you don't think that's related...
residential neighborhood, which is why the video footage you're seeing of this defendant's, person of interest movements, are pre and post shooting are in that neighborhood.
All right, guys, if you're out there, if you want to help support the channel, that would be great. We're still trying to make up for that one day that I dared to take off when I walked 2,000 steps. That was crazy.
So the building is on the edge of the Brown campus. Where the shooting took place is at the edge of that building, and then you're very quickly into a residential neighborhood. There is no footage. I'll try to say it again. There is no footage that depicts this individual that would be useful in identifying him that we have not released to you. And I think you can tell from, frankly, the not very helpful quality of the initial footage that our standard is pretty low.
Thank you, Chris O'Connell.
We would have and will release it. John.
Follow-up question.
Hold on.
Does Brown University or the federal government employ Stingray or any other mass surveillance equipment in and around the Brown University campus? And again, remember that the Brown University detective said that these applied and said that these cameras extended the neighborhood. So the other question is, does mass surveillance by Brown University end at campus borders, or is there anything in the Fire Street community out that area or anywhere else?
I can't really, let me boost this up. You guys, probably hard to hear that a little bit, right? Let me make it louder. 15, and right now we're at 27 minutes and 45 seconds in.
One question, real quick.
Hold on.
Does Brown University or the federal government employ Stingray or any other mass surveillance equipment in and around the Brown University campus? And again, remember that the Brown University detective said that these applied and said that these cameras extended the neighborhood. So the other question is, does mass surveillance by Brown University end at campus borders, or is there anything in the Fire Street community out that area or anywhere else in the community?
And by the way, your thank
you asked me this question last night, Pat.
And where is that guy? Oh, and you're welcome, Dante. I played it for you. I didn't see thanks in there.
And I don't have any knowledge of those systems.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking you in general or the FBI.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no mass surveillance. Well, first of all, I'm not sure what mass surveillance means, Pat, but by any standard, I wouldn't describe it as mass surveillance by Brown University. There are cameras that they have in place in an effort to protect their students. And unfortunately here, given location, given age of building, we just don't have additional video footage. I wish we did, but we don't, and so we're doing everything we can to find additional footage from the neighborhoods, reinvent his path of travel, and continue to canvass for either people who may have seen him, encountered him, or who have video evidence that could supplement what you already have.
John.
I have a question for Agent Knox. Agent, so this happened Saturday night, and then last night, we have an MIT professor. I know the question was asked, but this has to work. What we see on this video is seemingly someone very cautious, almost like a professional, kind of like the DC pipe bomber.
It is very similar to that.
What information do you have that MIT Jewish professor in Brookline was basically executed? Do you have any intelligence how that person was up?
You know, it's interesting. The Colonel Noble reached out to me very early. Their lead on that particular incident. He made sure that if there's any intelligence, any information in which is connected to what we have here, that they would share that. At this time, there seems to be no connection as it relates to that particular incident.
What, as a FBI agent, what do you see in that individual who's walking? For example, you know, he's walking with his arms behind his back, and I've seen people talk about that's not like a young kid on a campus. That scene where he's walking, that's something more either European or Middle Eastern. What do you see so far in this video that we see of this or a person of interest?
You know, I think the Colonel articulated in a sense what they see. I'd say from an FBI perspective, we have individuals that can hypothesize on that, our behavioral analysis unit, and those type of individuals.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of attacks against the Jewish community, because of people like Candace Owens and others who seemingly blame the Jews for every single one of their problems out there.
I will say I would be, I think, getting a little ahead of things if I give you kind of an inference of what I see in that particular behavior. It can mean a lot of things, to be truly transparent with you, and to get into the mind of an individual that would commit such a heinous act. That's a place in which I don't want to go right now. I'm not sure what was going on.
Thank you, Chris O'Connell.
Don't you love the way I say that? Come on. Wow, look at those. Look at the thumbnails for the people who just got the free ones.
Going on in that particular individual's head at that time.
John, that's it.
This individual seems very
Brian in the
There's
back.
a troll SWAT. There you go. Wow, are you guys related, Bruce and Chris?
What is your response to parents?
Like, my God, you typed in the same exact sentence.
Sirens didn't go off. Do you believe that Brown had the precautions and safety measures in place before the shootings that were appropriate?
Bruce Holdaway. And in fact, I'm glad you mentioned the sirens because I think there's been some misinformation about that. We have two security systems that we can activate in times of an emergency. One is a system that sends out.
Oh, this made sense. What she said was they have an emergency system where one of them's text messages when there's an active shooter, and the other one is for like if it's let's just say there was a tornado or something, and everybody goes inside and hunkers down when the alarms go off. That means get inside. Now, if there's an active shooter in the building, would you really want people running back into the building? So it's a different alarm system. That's why they didn't do the alarm. They just sent the text messages.
Text messages, phone calls, emails. And it was activated within minutes of the incident. Those messages went out to 20,000 individuals.
Although, wouldn't you want people to run in if there was an active shooter and they were outside? Wouldn't you want people to go inside and hunker down? I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to nuance their way out of it.
Individuals. So all alerts. We also
Thanks,
have
Roger
a system
Smith.
of
All right.
sirens.
Love you
There
too,
are 3
man.
sirens placed across campus. Those get activated when there is a broad-scale emergency and we want people to rush into buildings. In the case of an active shooter, activating that system could have caused people to rush into Barris and Hawley. So that's not a system that we would ever use in the case of an active shooter. So,
Just to follow up,
It does say on the website when it was launched that it is for
It depends on the circumstances and where the active shooter would be, but you don't want to ever get people rushing into buildings that might be the site of an active shooting.
That's it.
That's my understanding.
Go ahead, sir.
Do you have any evidence that suggests that the victim Ella Hook may have been targeted?
I don't know what that means.
No, not at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Miss, we're working our way across. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
Attorney General Morano, what are the characteristics of the guy in the first video that makes you believe that he's also the same guy in the video that was released yesterday, and then a follow-up for President Paxton?
Yeah, look, I think that that is an analysis that has been done by the agents and the detectives. A lot of factors are going into that. A lot of it is being able to, and as I just saw upstairs, a really terrific job of tracing movements. And when you put movements and times together.
Hey, by the way, let's look at this really quick. This is what they're talking about right here. MIT professor, earlier, is fatally shot in his home. The professor, Nuno F.G. Loureiro, was pronounced dead at a hospital on Tuesday morning. The authorities said they had opened a homicide investigation. The authorities said on Tuesday they had opened a homicide investigation after a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology was fatally shot in his home in Brookline, Massachusetts. The professor, Nuno F.G. Loureiro, 47, was a member of the Departments of Nuclear Science and Engineering and Physics, as well as the director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. I mean, this guy was, you can't be an idiot and do any of that. The Norfolk County District Attorney's Office said the police responded on Monday night after receiving a report of a man shot at his home. The office said that Dr. Loureiro was brought to a hospital with gunshot wounds. Hey, thanks, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. And that he was pronounced dead on Tuesday morning. This is an active and ongoing homicide investigation, the district attorney's office said in a statement. An office spokesman, David Linton, said on Tuesday that there had not been any arrests in the case. MIT said it was encouraging members of the campus community who may be affected by Dr. Loureiro's death to reach out for support. This is shocking loss to our community. Comes in a period of disturbing violence in many other places. The president of MIT, Sally Kornbluth, said in a statement, "It's entirely natural to feel the need for comfort and support." He was named in 2024 Plasma Science and Fusion Center in May 2024, putting him in charge of one of the school's largest labs, where more than 250 researchers, staff members, and students work in 7 buildings. In January, President Joseph Biden Jr. Announced that Dr. Loureiro was one of nearly 400 scientists who had been awarded the Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers. MIT said the National Science Foundation has nominated Dr. Loureiro for the award. Is he Jewish or anything? Let me see. Seemed like there was somebody, like, why does it say, why are they talking about him? I don't know.
Loureiro was found critically wounded by gunfire inside his residence and was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead in the early morning hours. He was shot several times, according to information released by authorities. Police were called to the scene during the evening hours after receiving
let me see. I don't know why they're mentioning that. Various Jewish organizations have speculated online that the professor was targeted for his political affiliation as a pro-Israel advocate. Okay, MIT released a statement. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Because this, who knows what the Brown University shooting was?
Together, it's easy to easier, perhaps is the best word, to identify them as the same person. Now, look, there are no absolutes in any
I don't think he was Jewish. I think
investigation.
he was pro-Israel.
And I'm not about to make absolute statements in this one either, but that's the general reasoning for why we concluded.
Yeah, there's another really low audio question coming up. So we'll boost that one up. 20. There we go.
Just a follow-up to President Max. Right now, school break is pretty much underway for a lot of the university students. Have you met with your police department and the board of trustees on how you're going to secure the university going into the second semester? Are you making any changes to the way?
Well, the person that people are believing online, he's like a Palestinian person that works or is a student, doesn't work. He's a student at Brown University, and you've seen him in Palestinian protests and all these different things, and you know, who knows? Apparently, they ask these guys about that name, and they don't seem to act like he's something.
You guys operate?
Well, right now we have been, the campus is emptying out first, as you said, but we still have staff and faculty and graduate students and international students who will remain on campus during the winter break. So it's still open.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you're taking out one of our best scientists. Maybe, he might have been onto something. Maybe he had some research. God, I just kept saying, maybe he had some research that was making people nervous.
And right now, our focus is on getting as many sort of boots on the ground, people in cars. We have been really fortunate that the city and other municipalities have people who are helping us.
Do we have some in here?
People from the state. We also have security that we brought in from outside. I think over 60 people today were patrolling the campus. I was on campus walking around, and I couldn't.
Hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell. Some more troll smack.
Turn around without seeing a security person. So we will continue that for as long as we think it's necessary. And right now, the campus feels very secure.
So
Thank you.
Steve, I'm sorry, I missed your.
No, okay. If someone were, Providence resident were to see someone who matched the description of the person of interest, how would they be sure that they weren't dealing with a federal IC?
The tip line that we've been providing throughout the last several days, 401-272-3121, that call comes in here and is answered in this building with Providence police professionals and our partners at the FBI. That is who's manning the phones. That is who's processing the tips, and we are encouraging anybody who has relevant information to please use that tip line, and they should know that that's who's on the other end of the phone. And again, if you have relevant information or information that you think might help us with this investigation, we encourage you to call.
Are there anything that can be differentiated between this person and an ICE agent who would be matched up walking through town and not be approached by the police in the same way this person was?
Again, we've worked really hard to build the trust of our community here in Providence, and I'm telling you that phone number, 401-272-3121, rings in this building and is answered by Providence Police and or FBI. Those are the agencies that are processing, running down, and investigating any relevant information, and we urge folks, if you have relevant information, to please use that phone number. Luke.
The Colonel, do you have any indication as to whether all the interviews of the students in the classroom are completed? Is there any through line?
Okay, let me boost these up. It's too. Let's see. Audio gain 20. Oh, guess what? I went to I had to go pick up my mom's medicine tonight. And I go over there, and my dad said, "Yeah, I said they said they didn't have his insurance for the medicine before, but then I asked him, did you get it to him? Yeah, Medicare, yeah. If not, just pay for it yourself." So I go there, and the guy goes, "Okay, look, with this discount here, we took $160 off. It's $641." And I said, I'm not getting this. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then it turns out my dad didn't give him the insurance information. So now they're working on that. But man, that is insane. How is there a 641 for like a month of something if you didn't have insurance? Wow.
For the Colonel, do you have any indication as to whether all the interviews of the students in the classroom are completed? Is there any through line that you glean from those interviews?
We're still conducting those interviews as we speak.
Go ahead, please.
You mentioned that you have no idea if the shooter is still in the area. Have you been working with any law enforcement agencies in other states that are nearby?
Yes, we're working with every municipality here in the state of Rhode Island, and obviously every Massachusetts. We have conversations with them as well. But the majority of the law enforcement that we're working with right now is our own, nearby municipalities, the Rhode Island State Police, and every agency that you can think of, federal agency in this building.
Yeah, that would be 1,200 gifted channel memberships. Or 120, I mean. I mean, that's crazy.
Are you working with agencies in Connecticut?
We had conversations with them, but no, they're not here, no.
Amanda, if I could just jump in here, what's really critical first is that we identify who the person is. Once we identify who this person is, I believe we'll be able to locate him. It's very hard to hide in this country. But until you have a name, which is why we're working so hard to identify him, it's not particularly productive to reach out to law enforcement across the country as who you're looking for, because we don't yet know who we're looking for. So that's why we have to identify the person. Once we've identified him, we'll know more information about where he's from and who his friends are and where he might go. So those are the things that we can do once we have an identification of this person. And that's why the team now is laser focused on identifying who this person is in this video. Amanda.
I have some questions for the chief.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Just following up on another question that was just asked, I'm glad to hear that some of the students are beginning to recover. How many of the students who are inside that building and also outside have detectives been able to interview, and have they elaborated on anything that this man said? Whether he yelled something in the classroom before opening fire, did he appear to be wearing a bulletproof vest, and that's why you appeared both?
It's a good amount of interviews that have been conducted. We have interviewed several people. And so I just want to tell you that's part of the investigation right now. We'll continue to investigate, and we'll continue to speak with them. And like the general stated, listen, we're just trying to build the case here and make sure that we can move forward and continue the progress as we're doing. But the interviews are still being conducted.
But Chief, they haven't elaborated. They haven't elaborated exactly on what this man did say and what he was yelling.
Yeah, no, I don't have that info now.
Straight back, sir.
What do we know about the path of the shooter as they left Ferris and Holly, and where did we lose sight of him?
So his movements were all in that residential block that I mentioned, between Waterman Avenue, Howard Street, Ivy Street, Hope Street. It's all that block. The whole residential block that I just mentioned is where his movements were. And then obviously that's where we lose sight of him, somewhere around Governor Street.
Is this after the shooting, Chief?
In the back there.
Correct.
To that point, at any point, will there be kind of like a map put out as to which cameras you're seeing him on to kind of give an idea to the public of maybe my camera's there, maybe my Tesla's there?
Correct. Yeah, great point. And something that we talked about just before I came down here to be able to release that map as well.
Alex.
For the Colonel, do investigators know how many shots have been fired yet?
It's in our forensics unit, and obviously with the FBI as well. They're all there, and there was several rounds that were fired inside the building.
And just another follow, the image today of the person of interest they have a satchel. Is it known if there were additional weapons in there or magazines or something?
No, that's all we know. That it was just that one weapon that I mentioned the other day.
Go ahead.
This might be a question
All right. I'm making it louder. You can't even see it. 25. Let me get these ones too down here.
This might be a question either for President Hudson or the Colonel here. I wanted to follow up on the scrubbed internet pages that were mentioned. Is that there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's been a lot of speculation about what those scrub pages might mean. Can you help fact check, give us some information today about what the scrubbed individuals, about one very particular individual, does it have any connection to do with the shooting?
As I said before, I have no knowledge of any scrubbed pages. You can follow up with our communications office if you want to get more information maybe tomorrow, but this is the first I've heard of it.
So I did, and then they directed me to Colonel Press. Do you know anything about it?
I do not know.
Go ahead, right behind, yes.
Una pregunta para el coronel. ¿Qué es lo que ustedes ven en la descripción, en el lenguaje corporal de esta persona que los hace pensar que es una persona de interés? He hablado con personas de la comunidad que tienen cierta desconfianza porque ya liberaron a una persona que también era de interés. ¿Qué hace a esta persona la que...
Yes, the question is, what makes this person one of the suspects that we have that is a priority? And since we had released somebody already in the past, what makes this person the subject? So, la respuesta verdaderamente es que tenemos muchas indicaciones que este individuo es el que cometió esta tragedia.
Well, I want to hear the answer in English.
Tenemos estos videos que mostramos es por esa razón. La investigación nos está llevando en ese progreso a determinar que esta es la persona, por demasiadas cosas que vamos a seguir investigando. So the answer is pretty much that there's a lot of leads that we have here that identifies this individual as the person who committed this tragedy, and we have enough to be
Okay, so they know by talking to other people that that is the person they saw.
able to move forward in progress, and we're very confident that that is the individual that committed the tragedy.
So the person in the video is is the shooter.
One follow up here. Oh, you go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
So why don't we call him a suspect, and what do we tell the community that's nervous? So la respuesta es, verdaderamente, estamos llamando a una persona de interés, ¿verdad? Porque necesitamos crear un caso para poder llevarlo a la justicia y presentarlo al fiscal. Y eso le decimos a la comunidad que realmente estamos en un trabajo y esta es una prioridad en este momento y una responsabilidad de que pongamos un caso completo para poder llevarlo a la justicia.
Can I just jump in here, Mayor, with your permission? I want to come back to your question about that name. And I know the name that you're asking about because a member of the media asked.
So right now they're talking about the name that people keep typing in here, you know. Okay, that's what he's talking about. It was in a super chat earlier.
Asked me about it. I am familiar with it. I wasn't familiar with it when the media member asked me about it. I think it was.
Yeah, there you go again. He just typed it in up above.
I think it was either CBS or NBC. I asked my team about it. I think this is an area where caution is really necessary. There are lots of reasons why a page might be taken down, particularly if there's chatter out there about, to your question, Amanda, about words that were spoken. It's easy to jump
Yeah, but what's that got to do
from
with
someone
the
saying
person?
words that were spoken to what those words are, to a particular name that reflects a motive targeting a particular person. That's a really dangerous road to go down. Really dangerous. If that name meant anything to this investigation, we would be out looking for that person. We would let you know we were looking for that person.
Why didn't you go ask him questions?
Again, I think it's just a really dangerous road to go down. I know that in today's age, there are lots of things that people read into things. It's just a dangerous thing to do. And I would leave it to us to identify persons of interest and let us run them down. What the public can do for us today is help us figure out who this guy is. And we hope to have more information out that will help you do that, help us do that.
You have a follow up here. Yeah.
Very quickly, it was my colleague's question but just in regards to
You can probably find it on Twitter.
as well about the motive here. Do you have any information regarding the rumors that a particular professor was being targeted?
Yeah, there's.
Okay, hold on. I mean, I could hardly even hear that, even with my headset. Audio gain 25. I'm gonna do 25 on that one. Then over here, that one's low too. Bing, 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 bing. All right.
Yeah, there's no information that the investigative team has about motive.
The fact that the satchel is in some video.
All right, where was it? Right here? There it is.
It was further to my colleague's question, but you have answered most of it. But just in regards to the rumours that are circulating as well about the motive here, do you have any information regarding the rumours that a particular professor was being targeted?
Yeah, there's no information that the investigative team has about motive. Zero. There's nothing about, even if
This guy's
taking
depressing
at
to
face
listen to.
value what one or two witnesses may have said about what something was said.
You didn't see one.
Okay,
Was
and there are many
the,
witnesses that say nothing was said. There's nothing about what we know was perhaps said that indicates any kind of motive that is related at all to ethnicity or political outlook or culture. There's nothing at all that we know right now about that. And I think that is a dangerous road to go down, particularly in today's environment.
Patrick has a follow-up.
The fact that the satchel is in some videos and not in others, and his disappearance around Governor either indicate that there's a vehicle involved or one of the houses involved. He picks up the satchel or gets off the satchel. What does that tell us, the fact that he disappears if there's a vehicle?
Those are the actions of a criminal, pretty much. I'll tell you that's you're right, and that's something that we're looking at.
His actions are criminal? What a stupid comment. I mean, while he's walking around, do you think was there anything criminal that he was doing while he was walking around? That's what he's talking about. Let's see.
Those are the actions of a criminal, pretty much.
He's the actions of a criminal. Yeah, I mean, he is sort of stalking, walking around.
I'll tell you that's you're right. And
I mean, the way he sort of stands around, loiters, etc.
And that's something that we're looking at.
But I don't know.
As you can see in the video, the satchel's on. Sometimes it's not on. There's a heavy coat on.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a criminal doing that. We know he is.
But he hit the satchel and some tendencies that we have. We'll continue to investigate. It's complex, but we'll continue to investigate as we go.
Chris has got a follow-up. Chris has got a follow-up.
Are you assuming?
Let Chris talk, damn it!
Me, after 4 days, the suspect had taken his own life. So if you just set the microphone, are you assuming right now that you're showing the videos that this is a suspect after 74 hours that's still alive, or do you have dogs and thermal imaging from helicopters over there that are looking for a person that's taken?
Yeah, we're using a lot of resources. As soon as we get a lead, we continue to follow through with it. An investigation I mentioned the other day. They start here, then they lead in a different direction. So we're there. Yes, you're right. We use dogs. Yes, if we have a lead on something and we think that we need to go back and search it again, we need to re-interview. We're doing all that.
Chris, you've got the last question. Go.
Hold on. Chris, you got the last question, man. We talked about it beforehand. I won't tell everybody that we talked about it beforehand, but I keep calling on you because we've got a question that I can just nail home for my next election process. Hold on. Go ahead there, Chris. What do you got for us, buddy?
This for Colonel Andy. The mayor had noted the Boston Globe podcast that there were setbacks earlier in this investigation. Would you also say that initial detention with that first person of interest, would you also categorize that as a setback?
Fantastic question, Chris. We waited all day for you.
Nearly everything. But we look at this case maybe from different backgrounds and experiences, perhaps. Certainly, the mayor has had many great experiences that I've
reimagine it. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I would not characterize it as a setback. The way I would characterize it is, it was a lead that had to be run to ground. And the person, as that lead was run to ground, there was an initial period where that lead looked very promising. But there was still physical evidence that had to be analyzed. And once it was analyzed, it was clear that that person was not a person involved here. But that's not unusual in investigations like this. And that's happening as we speak. We are developing people of interest. And, some we quickly rule out, others we...
Hey, everybody, hit that like button right now for me. It's one of the easiest damn things to do in the world. You just hit that like button. Hit that like button 10, 20, 25, 30. Hit that like button 40. It's one of the easiest damn things to do in the world. You just hit your nose, use your toes, whatever blows. Hit that like button. Hit that like button 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel.
quickly rule in. And when I say persons of interest, people that could be this guy based on other evidence. So I would not view it as a setback. I mean, I think, frankly, the police work there and the analytical work that had to be taken out of state and brought back very quickly was very well done. Certainly was it a disappointment for those of us who hoped we could wrap this case quickly for the benefit of the Brown community and the people of Providence, Rhode Island, of course. But I don't know that I...
The Brown community. That sounds racist almost the way they say it. It just happens to be the name of the school.
I would use the setback, but I think you know, maybe those words don't... But maybe what I'm saying is not all that different from what the mayor said. But I look at it as good police work while other work was going on.
You mean like good police work while other work was going on? You mean like how you canvassed the neighborhood right away and got all the surveillance from the entire city? Oh no, well we sort of put a lax on that because we already thought we had the person of interest in custody, so we didn't start that until yesterday. Well, why are you only getting the ones inside the range? Why not all around the entire city so that we can see where this guy was? Well, because we like to work our way out. Well, what if they record over those videos in the time before you get to that point? Well, that's just a risk we're going to have to take, sir.
We'll be back tomorrow with further updates unless there's a
great.
meaningful update. Again, if you are not yet on the press list, please see Camille or Julie to my left.
You know what this guy looks like right here? Remember the old animated, what was it, Kris Kringle? What was that thing? He looks like the mailman. Let's see, Kris Kringle mailman. Where the hell is that guy? It's like maybe not. Yeah, what was the that character? It was like let's see, old animated Christmas series and the mailman. Yeah, right there, that guy. Look at that. You tell me that guy doesn't... They don't look like clones. Man, these guys are absolute clones. You just put that hat over there. I bet you if I moved the green hat and put it on top of that guy's head, you would say, that's the same person. Just one is animated. Yeah. The dentist doesn't look like that guy. See how the long face, you know? Come on, you know that looked just like him. You put that green hat on that guy, he's the mailman.
Thank you all very much.
Well, there you go. There you have it, everybody. Pretty crazy. I guess the key takeaway from the night is that nutty moment right here where we can watch one more time. And in fact, I don't even know if I need to put that thing in there. What did I do? What's this one? Oh yeah, so I don't need that. I think I can just... Yep, and there he goes. So one last look at that. This is the key thing. Here is the suspect over up in the upper left in the green. And there's a reason they kept these together, but I wonder if they just didn't realize that they'd captured a different person. And that's why they took down this video. So this guy's right over here, and he's looking down this way, and he sees this person. Watch. And then he goes, oh shit, and he starts running. And this guy seems to be walking a little bit quicker. And then there's 8 seconds where they just have a still frame that does absolutely nothing. It just sits here, and there it goes again. And that's him following. That's the same guy, came around the corner. And right over in this area, he starts running in the same direction that guy was running from. It's crazy. So there's absolutely no way those aren't connected in some way. I mean, I guess there's always a chance. Just like in the Delphi case where you had a catfishing account that lured 2 girls to a bridge, and apparently some other guy was there and killed them, and they're not related to each other. Yeah, so I mean, you have weird coincidences like that, but this one's too much. It's the suspect in the case started running because he saw somebody. There is no doubt. Well, I think that's going to do it for me, guys. The mailman was your dad. You bastard. Yeah, I think we're already at 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's a long one. And thanks for, everybody who helped support the channel. Special thanks again to Chris O'Connell and Lisa Belson there. Lisa Belson and Chris O'Connell, they love Bruce Holdaway, man. He always makes those funny comments. But anyways, thanks everybody for being here. Let's see, we got Cinnamon Sin Freak, Cheryl Bullock. I don't think we got any coffees or anything. Regina. I did it again. Ragin Cajun. And then Linda Cosma. 33 months. Thank you. Then Linda Cosma with the super chat. Then Richard Watts. Then we had Stephen Connerly gifted a membership. Then Tammy McDonald gifted one. And then Richard Hinman. Yeah, he mentioned that same name. It's on Twitter. Then Christopher Marshburn. And then he sent me what he thought was like a manifesto of the guy whose name we don't show, but I can't read it. And then, let's see, Althea later on, something like that. Thanks for all your hard work, they said. KMTX, Mad Mapping Skills, Kathy Ratcliffe. Then we have Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Lisa Belson came in and gifted 10 after we had a massive lull. And then we had Saturn Dreaming of Mercury gifted one. Anakin gifted one. Silva is here gifted one. Then we had Shamo gifted one. Then Saturn Dreaming of Mercury gifted one. And then Lisa Belson gifted 5 because she did a matching situation there. And then Bruce Holdaway. And then Roger Smith. Then Mary Mellon became a new member. Then Bruce Holdaway did a super chat. Then Chris O'Connell did 10 memberships. Then Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Then Lisa Belson jumped in again and did another 10. So generous, thank you. And then Bruce Holdaway. Then Bruce Holdaway gifted 1. And then Timothy Cecil gifted 1. And then Marty, Marty's Bar and Grill gifted 5. Then I gifted 5 because you guys matched what I was saying. And then Bruce Holdaway, Chris O'Connell. And Chris O'Connell gifted 5 doing her troll swatting. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Roger Smith and Chris O'Connell gifted another 5 right at the end there. So thank you guys. Very cool. It's so weird how the shows are. Don't you guys see that? Like at the beginning of the show, for the first hour and a half, it's always just like, it's a struggle. It's like maybe I should just start my show later at 7:30. I think it's more just the show's been going on or something. Who knows? But anyways, I want to thank you guys very much for helping out, reaching the goal. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I should probably make a video of that portion, don't you think? I think it's very significant. Oh, yeah? Well, cool. It's kind of a late night, you're like a nurse or something, or doctor, or what do you do? Not that it's any of my business. You don't have to answer the question. Thanks so much, freaks. Yeah. Well, anyways, what do you guys think of the show tonight? I thought it was pretty good, you know. Covered a lot of different stuff. Went over a Candace Owens article at the beginning. Candace Owens, if you go read under Candace Owens' last video, her fans just absolutely seem to have turned on her because she didn't continue the same shit. So she's probably going to feel pressure to go back to doing the same crap she was doing. Then we did this for the whole time. Mapping out all the new surveillance footage. What does it mean? And then we discovered a moment where somebody seems to be running after the suspect. After he ran, the suspect notices somebody, then that person runs after the suspect. I mean, that was pretty interesting. And then we, just for a moment, went over the MIT professor. So anyways, hope you guys thought it was interesting at least. All right, so thank you all for being here tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. But who knows what tomorrow will bring. And don't forget to watch the end of the video. That's Bruce Holdaway's favorite spot. He doesn't care a damn about the rest of it. It's just, when is the ending? Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
True crime?
And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
Not even one?
That is a... Not even one. Crime dissector.
Fact rejector.
I'm a certified human lie detector. Thanks, Lisa
Gonna
Belson. Get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like
Chris
an
O'Connor.
old projector.
Crime sector.
Is my nectar. Professor Grillo's gonna give another
Lecture, crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector.
Fool deflector.
Interceptor. And I'll need a letter spectre with a vector.
On his pector, with all respect, y'all.
Just remember,
I've a temple fucking
protection. I have no agenda. I'm a pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya
on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates.
Hey, what the hell was that, man? Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates, where we cover true crime using facts, logic, reason, and common sense. We take that information and figure out what happens in cases. Thank you very much for watching. And as I always say, until next time,
be safe out there.
Hey, what the hell was that? I was supposed to say, be safe out there.
Well, I wanted to say it, Greg. Good night, everybody.
Oh my God, Mary Lou jumped in at the end.
Bye. See you around.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. No, oh, come on, everybody. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Poet. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, were they clapping for you, or?
Well, of course they were, right? Good night, everybody.
That's crazy. All right, see ya. Wow. Thanks again, everybody.